Hello everyone, Julius here. Not for Donut Like Donut Read, I guess, but I do have some of the Donut Like Donut Read people with me, and also Arthur.
Hello.
So basically, I had this crazy plan of doing a Dingo Pictures ranking video, because I have seen all of them at this point. I got quarter of the way through the script and realized, no, this is gonna be way too much work to do on this side. So what I'm doing instead now is just this tier list thing.
You've already watched all these movies. That's effort enough. You don't need to put any more effort than that, really.
Yeah, well, I did put in the effort to make this tier list template. So up here we have science, because one day we'll all be able to fly.
Science has made progress. One day we'll all be able to fly.
So that's S tier, of course. Then we have party time. Yeah, party time.
Party time. Yeah, party time.
And then from Lion and the King we have this quote, I don't know, I think we should be enemies. Then we have the Wabuu quote, most of these movies are so stupid. Which isn't actually, I think Wabuu never says that in any of his movies. And then the worst tiers, of course, throw it in a great big fire, yeah.
It belongs in a great big fire.
So and then also something I should get out of the way. I'm gonna rank these based on the German original dubbing. The issue here would be that some of them didn't originally have any English dubs. I think many of them now have the fan dubs made by Flaming Wheel Studios, so check those out if you haven't seen those. But yeah, since those are fan dubs, they wouldn't be really fair to consider in the ranking. And then, there's the East-West dubs, which...
The early farm was very beautiful. That's not much left. It's not really a farm anymore. An alternative couple from Bremer bought it and are reconstructing it. That is nothing left. Oh!
That's why I'm not considering that in the ranking. And I'm basically just going by the original. What the original sounded like. I guess with that out of the way, we're starting off with... And this is one of the movies we riffed. This is the first one we riffed on Donut Like Donut Read. So, any thoughts on that, Adam, Clemens?
Yeah.
Dinosaur.
I wasn't a part of that one, and I don't remember it too well, so...
Yeah, I just remember the scientist who said, oh, we're all gonna die, and everybody was like, yeah, whatever, old man.
Very 90s.
Yeah, basically.
Very 90s energy.
I wondered, I always thought it was strange that none of them believed him. When, you guys still send your kids to school to him. You trust him to teach your kids, but then when he gives you advice, you're like, I don't know. You're kind of crazy, I think. I think you're just talking shit. So yeah, but obviously that movie had very interesting dinosaur designs. So actually, I'm gonna pull the movies up on this other tab. And,
I wouldn't call them designs.
Well, yeah, they're just happenings. Also, yeah, as we see here, this lung that's supposed to be a sauropod, and then Tio, who's her son, he looks like a T-Rex thing.
He looks like a cat. They took the ears off and give it a big tail.
These designs, yeah. They all have weird mammalian features.
Some of them have really uncanny looking faces.
Fa also has has a dog nose, and Ark Ark was his name. I think he's the worst offender. I don't know what they did with it. It's they took...
That one looks like a monkey. The blue one.
Wait, that's Fa again. It's just from the front. Now she looks even worse. And then obviously arc looks like they took the rear end of a theropod and then merged it with
His
a
eye makeup is
triceratops.
fabulous.
The eye makeup, it's just baffling. I don't know what they were thinking. I think in the video I talked about this, like, a crackpot theory I had, because, like, in some shots you can also see torches on the wall of the cave. And then you had the monkey, you just randomly had gorillas. And, like gazelles or antelopes. So I had this. I talked about this theory that this is actually the far future, and they're like all like remaining genetic experiments after humanity has died out.
That's just a theory, a dingo theory.
He escaped from a cosmetic lab.
So the story of this one was kind of weirdly paced. Because, it starts with the conflict of, Tio hangs out with the creepy older guy, and I guess we're supposed to root for him. The older guy is also an asshole, Then Tio tries to fly so he doesn't have to go to school, and he hits his head. And then all of that, of course, ends when he actually goes to Oro, and then that whole volcano erupting subplot starts. That very classic... when there's a dinosaur movie, a lot of them center around there's a natural catastrophe happening. So I guess that's what Dingo also did, and they get separated, and... I give the movie that is at least a story with stakes. It's not like one of these... Because I think the worst Dingo movies are the ones where nothing happens, and this one definitely has stuff happening. So from that alone, I think we should be enemies tier, if not higher. I guess my biggest criticism would be the pacing, where it's like, you have that whole thing about flying and that all takes a lot of time before the, like, what I consider the main conflict starts with the volcano. Feels like the movie's kind of dinking around before that. And then, of course, our main characters... I mean, Tio's just kind of a generic kid, but, like, I don't know. Are we supposed to root for a Kree who's just this weird guy who hangs out with a child? And then I guess
Peek
is
weird,
also there.
yeah.
We haven't talked about him yet, but Peek is also just that weird guy who just hangs around. Like, I don't even know if Kree and Tio liked him. He just hung around and would occasionally make his little rhymes.
It's like if they made Petrie from The Land Before Time a weird adult who never really finished maturing.
In the Dingo documentary, they said that this wasn't a ripoff of Land Before Time, but instead of Disney's Dinosaur, which I think might make sense timeline-wise. Although I still do think that... Oh yeah, the one in the background here. This looks like this always looked like a weird, fucked up Ducky Trace to me. And this character only shows up in that one scene, so I don't know.
It does look like a fucked up Ducky Trace.
And of course people also assumed this was a Land Before Time ripoff because like the gaming release had a cover image that was clearly supposed to be a Land Before Time ripoff. Like, it was clearly supposed to look like the Land Before Time.
I'm gonna make one comment. Those sauropods in the background, not only are their heads tiny, but they also really look phallic.
They look so strange.
This movie, of course, has a place in Dingo Pictures history because of the Yee meme, so that's the thing. So I'd say, since Party Time, that quote also originates from here, I'd say we put this in the Party Time tier. I wouldn't say it's quite science. I still think there's a bit of stuff wrong with it, with the pacing, so... But I think it deserves its place in Party Time tier. And with that, we're going to... This one might be controversial because I don't know if any of you tried to watch the English dub of this movie.
Not personally.
No, I have not.
This is one of the East-West dubs and it might be the worst one.
Here is it.
What's here? I don't see a thing.
Listen carefully, Aladin.
Yeah, what do you think of
Oh,
that?
it's that old man again.
You'll soon be a richest and the most powerful man of the world east.
Yeah, I think those are at least some of the people that were in the
If you won't be sorry
Bremen
later.
town musician stuff as well.
Go ahead, get
Oh god, that bird's voice.
some wood and make a little campfire.
But you'll also notice if I turn this a bit louder, this has one of the loops, you know, the
This
drum
goes
loop in
so
Animal
well.
Soccer World,
Soon
and
I
this
will
also
be
has
the
that, but
owner
instead
of
of drums, it's
biggest treasure in the world.
Does his hood move back whenever his eyebrow quirks?
And the people go, wow, wow, and it's throughout the whole movie, so it's totally unwatchable. And I feel like because of that, of course I haven't polled anyone, but I think this one has a bad reputation as far as Dingo Pictures movies go within the English-speaking world, because like people associate it with the really shitty dub, and then it is also, I think, Dingo's longest movie. They kind of went ambitious. They have like song numbers. I guess Pocahontas had like one song number, but this one has multiple ones. Of course, having a already borderline unwatchable dub for 1 hour makes it a pretty dreadful experience. But I think in the German-speaking world, the consensus is generally more positive, because of course not the dubbing issue isn't there, and of course as a German speaker you understand the songs, that they of course in the dub they didn't even bother translating them. These songs they're trashy, but they're kind of iconic in a, you know, it's trashy in a charming way. This is of course the most well known. Flying a carpet is logical and also very ecological.
So he's thinking about that's great.
And then I think my personal favorite song is the sad song when he has to wait till he can marry. This one is a truly emotional experience, so... Oh, where is my head? I'm looking onto a pot of soup.
I don't have enough weed for this.
A pot of soup?
And now the animals cry.
All those geese are just drooling.
So a great performance, and yeah, the lyrics are just...
Yeah.
I don't know, in English do we have a word for that when you have a rhyme that is nonsensical? So you just have the lyrics for the rhyme, but they don't make any sense. Because in German we have the word
Just
Zwecktime.
nonsense.
And it's that with this song. But that also makes it very quotable. Like, this is one of the things I still quote with my sister, oh yeah.
That ugly ass camel crying.
So the Jasmine stand-in is called Zoeraya, she also has a song. Also a Bob.
Does it say bad on the temple?
Yeah, that's the German word.
That
Bad.
looks like it says
the
bad.
The bathing thing. And she has this like...
Oh, I need these 3 hype women in my life.
This English maiden.
The identical triplet hype women.
There's
She has really tiny legs for a regular sized body.
Yeah.
And her voice, she has no breath control. She sounds ridiculous.
I
What?
like those mice though. Those mice look pretty cool.
Hi buddy.
And then also a thing with Soraya in this movie is that whenever she talks, her eyebrows move up and down every time. I don't know why. It looks really cursed. Like, even when she speaks
Even
normally,
Dwayne
she
Johnson
does
would
this.
tell her to calm down.
It's just... Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Those fucking rats.
I kinda like the rats. They're kind of cute.
Ants.
So
They're
overall,
ridiculous.
when you watch it with the proper dub, I always found this to be one of the more enjoyable Dingo Pictures films. It is pretty much straight up adapting the fairy tale of Aladin.
Just
It's like
in the
closer to
shittiest
the
way
original.
possible.
It's closer to the original in many aspects than the Disney version, which is in some ways, of course, that you could see that as a bad thing. Because, it has that issue of Aladin just spies on Soraya and falls in love with her, and it's like the relationship between Soraya and Aladin. It all feels kind of rushed, of course. Not really convincing, although I'm gonna give them credit. They kind of tried with, because in Soraya's song, they established that she's fed up with living a boring life at the palace, and I can't go out when I want, and all. She's kind of a chaotic neutral character. Like, she just wants to cause mischief deep in her heart, I think. And then when Aladin, with the help of the genie, just kidnaps her and the son of the Wazir, it's like, I guess she's like, oh, finally something's happening. I'm getting away from that boring guy, and I guess this is, I guess I'm into this. And it's all kind of,
That genie is
but they kind of
awful
tried.
to look
And of
at.
course the genie
Horrendous.
is blue. I don't know why they would make the genie blue. It's a mystery where they would get that idea from.
Oh!
So there's another song. So this is how we convey the fact that they're now in love. And she
I love
keeps
how he
bumping
has
her
no
eyebrows.
chest features. It's just a smooth expanse of skin.
Yeah, so his nose just looks like two holes in his head. Looks like he
That
has no
genie
nose.
is so fucking ugly. He looks like he has jaundice, but it's also blue and
But yeah, overall, I put this in science tier. I like this one. This is one of my favorites.
That's some good shit. If I could watch the
It is
German
fun.
version with English subtitles, it'd be pretty
But
good,
like
I think.
when you watch the songs in all of their glory, you kind of get into it in a weird way. So yeah, that's Aladin.
I don't know if I've been able to pick up because my mic wasn't on or something, but that looked like the cartoon that serves as the introduction for an analog horror.
Oh, they all
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I know. I have very limited
That's the Dingo
experience.
signature.
Yeah, I have very limited experience with Dingo Pictures. I know the dinosaur one because, of course, I do.
Of course you do.
Good to have you on board, though,
It's-
Spooky of OCSI. So
Yes.
Yeah, you'll also be happy to hear that we ranked it in the second highest tier.
I mean, that's the only one that's had a actual any kind of impact on the internet.
Well, at least the English-speaking internet. Over in Europe, it's a lot different.
I imagine.
There was other ones that had memes about them, I think. Although, yeah, that's obviously the biggest one. Next up, we have...
Oh boy.
And
Oh, I love me a good Anastasia ripoff.
already.
Yeah.
Anastasia already has that thing where, not really historically accurate. Of course, a kind of a weird choice to have a Disney-esque movie about something that happened that recently. An interesting choice, of course, that Rasputin is the villain in this one as well. I wonder where they got that idea from. Surely not from
one of the
movie they ripped off.
This is like
Considering that-
unequivocally ripped.
Yeah.
It's
So-
like no bones about it. This one.
So in this version, instead of cursing them or whatever, I haven't seen the original Anastasia, but instead of whatever the version of Rasputin there did, this Rasputin, he just plants a bomb, a cartoon bomb in the palace.
I like how there's. I like how
And he has like
I like
two
how
guys
there's-
helping him.
You
Or
know,
three guys. There was the
that's
Italian
more
chef as well.
historically accurate to the Romanovs' lives than the original Anastasia movie.
I like how this dude's still wearing a powdered wig in like the fucking early 1900s.
Yeah, so here, here's how
God,
it kills the Romanovs. Here's this cartoon
That
bomb.
That looks so bad. That looks so. I like. Oh my god!
And then the one bomb blows up the entire palace.
Beautiful. 10 out of 10, no notes.
Yeah,
That's
fucking-
real.
No, the Winter Palace. I mean, the Summer Palace. Ooh.
Hey, power scalers, how many tons of TNT is that worth?
I mean, maybe the
where do we
building just
scale?
catch fires because of the aftermath. Maybe.
Where do we scale Dingo Pictures Rasputin?
So yeah, Anastasia. This is Anastasia, by the way. She's blonde in this version. So Rasputin meets up with this witch. The witch doesn't do anything. It's totally pointless. I guess Rasputin was
God.
expecting to be elected president or something after getting rid of the Romanovs, but the
Like,
servants
he's like,
who
hey,
helped him are like, yeah, no, we don't trust you either. You just blew up the
You
Romanovs. We're not gonna make you president. Fuck you. So he
Like,
goes
he
to
was
the
You just
witch guy and
killed
she's like,
children.
yeah, I don't know. You should kill Anastasia and then you'll somehow be president. And
like I'm picturing he's trying to fucking cuddle up to fucking Lenin and Stalin for some fucking hey.
and then Lenin
Yo.
is like, wait, you're not supposed to be here. Didn't they literally kill you?
I mean, Joseph Stalin did rise as a political figure after his brother died in one of these,
Yeah.
I think he was executed for committing a terrorist crime, and it was ordered by the Tsar, so that's what gave Lenin his start.
So here we have,
That is
that is a trace of Anastasia from the original movie, but this is not Anastasia. This is our sleazy conman character who discovers she's Anastasia. For some reason, they ripped off Anastasia's design and made him a guy.
I like how he's doing throwing up some fucking signs there, like yo,
Yeah,
like surf stuff.
here's grown-up Anastasia, and you
know
know
what this
She looks like Luann from King of the Hill, kinda.
like Luann, if like halfway through they decided to try and draw her in a how to draw manga style.
yeah.
It's
like
real
weird.
bad.
So yeah, the sleazy conman, and he discovers she's Anastasia. Then they want to go to her aunt in Paris, and Rasputin's like, I gotta kill them, and he pursues them. So we get a brief chase sequence, and then the absolute highlight of the movie is the way Rasputin is defeated. So I'm just gonna show
Yeah.
that scene now.
Yeah.
This is Anastasia in the
I love
Rat.
fucking rat moment.
Yeah, he also has a rat that doesn't really do anything, and he has a rat sidekick,
Yeah.
of course.
Everyone
Yeah,
has an
that's-
animal psychic in these
Just that
things.
fat lounging rat asset.
That's not Bartok, that's Tarbok.
Stop, Sasha! Stop, Sasha! This is not a ball. This is a bomb. Stop, Sasha!
Oh my god! Oh my god! What's happening?
Why don't I walk away?
What?
I appreciate them
A bomb
censoring.
like that blew up the whole palace, but now it just blew up Rasputin.
Oh, new anti-feat for Rasputin.
That's the way he dies, so definitely my favorite Dingo Pictures villain, which is a low
Yeah.
bar, but just the way he dies alone is comedy gold. So I think this movie is this is definitely science tier.
Science.
Let me think.
Just
No,
for the way Rasputin died alone.
I don't think I'd put it above Aladin, so I think this is where it goes for now.
Top 10
Yes.
non-Disney animated villain deaths.
Man, they left that part out of the Rasputin song where the dog pushes the bomb into him and he blows up.
Yeah, they couldn't find a word.
Rasputin.
They couldn't find out how to rhyme.
The dog pushed the bomb into his head.
The dog pushed a bomb right into his head.
Till he was dead.
Oh, those Russians.
So next up is one that I don't think a lot of people have seen. It's the last movie that Dingo Pictures ever made. Which, as we all know, is a ripoff of Kiki's Delivery Service, right? Watch Mojo.
What's that? It's like the ripoff of Little Witch Academia.
Well, it's
too
neither
early
of
for
them,
Little Witch
and Watch
Academia.
Mojo are
This
just
was like-
tags, and they just picked the first movie they could think of that had a little witch in it, and said, yeah, that they were probably ripping off that. There's two things that I suspect this is based on, where people usually say this is based on Bibi Blocksberg, which is a not known in the States, I think, but is a very famous children's character in Germany, like mainly for audio dramas, but also like a cartoon show. So one of the things that stands out are these effects. Like, I guess you could say they're more advanced. Basically, they discovered keyframe animations.
A hell of a time to discover it.
At the end.
Yeah, so basically the premise here is...
Ugly witch.
Arischa is a little witch. She also has a crow or raven. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Sidekick. It's, the crow was in other movies. That's just reused as usual. Yeah. But
is ugly bird.
The fact she has a crow sidekick makes me suspect this could also partly be inspired by another classic German children's character. That would be Die kleine Hexe, the Little Witch by Ottfried Preußler, which is a bit of an older children's book. The Little Witch in that book also has a raven sidekick. And that could be a coincidence because, it's Dingo Pictures. Yeah. They had that raven, they had that crow lying around, and they're like, well, witches, crows goes well together. Yeah, so that could be a coincidence, but maybe they also were inspired of that book. It's possible because, a big part of that is also there's a little witch and she's her spells often don't go right. But then, to be fair, that's also basically the premise of Bibi Blocksberg, except that's set in a modern setting. So, who knows? But basically, the premise is that Arischa goes to this random magical forest. I didn't remember they made the fucking duck from the Dino movie blue. I'd erased that memory. I don't know what it's blue for. But yeah, she talks to the animals, they're show us some magic, and then her spells go wrong because this gnome character, voiced by Armin Drogat, who was the German voice of Wabuu, is so classic. So yeah, these are the advanced effects, not seen in other Dingo Pictures new movies. I mean, they don't look good, but it's interesting, I guess.
I'm glad they finally graduated to Zelda CDI.
Yeah, it does kind of look like that.
It's mostly the weird outlines of the characters that makes me reminds me a lot of fucking CDI.
Traces of Thumper and Bambi and his mom.
To be fair, this character design of this gnome guy also looks like it's straight out of a CDI game.
He looks like a character Chunky would use in the D&D campaign we've been doing.
So yeah, this evil gnome guy just shows up and fucks shit up. He uses evil magic and he makes all of Arisha's spells go wrong, and I don't know, hijinks happen. In a lot of shots, this hedgehog runs across the screen, and he's really fast. I don't know if I can find a shot of that.
He's just there.
Yeah, these animals in general just run really weirdly. It's like way too fast, and it looks weirdly unnatural. Because I guess they found out what keyframe animations were, and it looks... And this crow can fly backwards.
Christ.
So there's the hedgehog.
It's Shadow.
I've had it with this little witch fucking the spells up.
He reminds me of Maria.
And then the crow also walks really cursed way. So yeah, then they
God, her proportions are whack.
Then they defeat the gnome guy. Oh, I guess you made turned all of them to stone at one point, and then they defeat him, and he turns to stone. And yeah,
he turns into Ash Baby.
I think Arisha is it's like the definition of mid. Like, it's not, for a Dingo Pictures movie, it's not really that awful, but it's also really not memorable. It has a story with stakes at least, but it also, I don't know, just feels kind of random. Like, I don't know, I don't know why she went to the magical forest in the first place, and I don't know why that evil gnome just happened to show up. But it's like, it's okay, it's alright. It's lukewarm and tasteless. It's alright.
Like our old pasta.
Yeah. So on to English, it's known as Nice Cats. Maybe based on the Aristocats a little bit. You know.
Fucking
Nice Cats.
Nice Cats, yeah. So basically,
the
premise
this is the shirt of the Aristocats.
Well, it's not exactly the same. The designs are stolen, but the story is actually different. So the premise is this, like, rich lady. The main characters are like her cats, and they all go on a trip to Acapulco from San Francisco, where they travel with the car in one day.
Okay.
Just a short ride to Acapulco, and you know, there they just hang around in their vacation home, and you know, our main character, she's kind of bored, which I can relate to. But this leads her to go explore the cities, even though she's warned beforehand there are, you know, catnappers, no, what do you call them? Cat catchers, you know.
I think we just call them animal catchers.
Animal control officers?
Well, I guess it's not an officer. I don't think this is an officer. I think this is just a guy who... I think this guy like just illegally catches cats to sell them to other people.
He looks like Desmond from Smiling Friends.
His shirt says, "I love cats."
Yeah, he does kind of do, yeah. I love cats.
He looks like a Smiling Friends character.
He's taking them home to cook and eat them.
Yum yum.
The lady and the mother cat. By the way, the humans and cats can talk to each other. Like, the lady just talks to the mother cat. That happens in a lot of Dingo Pictures movies. Like, that animals can just talk to humans and it's not questioned. But it's, of course, especially weird when there's cat catchers. And so they hear about it, and you know, you hear your cat / your daughter has been kidnapped by an animal catcher. You'd think what you do would be go there and be like, look, I'm just gonna give you the money. I mean, I'm rich anyway. Hence I can afford this vacation. So can I buy my cat back? And you know, since that is the whole point of the scam, he would probably give it back if you gave him, you know, maybe an extraordinary amount of money, but he would give it back. But what they do instead is be like sad, and then they drive home as if they could do nothing about this, and it's the weirdest thing ever.
It can't be done.
They were looking to get rid of the kid anyway.
I just want to say, I look away from the screen, and then I look back, and for a second, I think the net he's holding is a fishnet stocking he's also wearing.
He rolls up his massive pant leg, and you can see the fat squishing out between the strings.
Oh, God. Well, this is officially the second most insane animated German movie about talking cats that I have ever seen.
So now she's stuck in Acapulco, and she has to get back. She meets this older guy again.
Oh, so
it does kind of hit on her. We're not gonna talk about that. So they escape.
Ew.
They go back. They stop at an Italian place at one point. They get back, and
so they're ripping off Lady and the Tramp with this one too.
I guess it's kind of is like Lady and the Tramp, yeah.
I was going to say it reminds me a lot of like an American Tale. Fievel Goes West.
They have, but they're on a train for that whole thing, and there's a maybe.
So yeah, perhaps. Fairly standard story. What I also didn't mention is that this is one of the, how to call them, story time movies. So instead of having voice acting, you have a narrator who also voices the characters as if he was reading a picture book. So the same thing as we did on the Donut Read channel, we did the Toys Room. Same thing here. And this is kind of, there's the Italian chef. This is a classic Dingo Pictures character. No, it doesn't have the Chinese guy with him, but it's the Italian chef.
Pizza Tower movie leak.
That's just a trace of a real frying pan, and they just scribbled some yellow sludge at the bottom.
Guess that's supposed to be a pancake. That classic Italian pancake.
Yeah.
First thing
what are
Italy pancake.
I mean, every culture has something akin to a pancake or a waffle.
There's for sure have them. It's just not, something.
But they don't look like that.
Associate with Italy specifically.
I mean, what is a pizza? What is a pizza if not a pancake with a bunch of shit on it?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say this is another mid-movie. I don't really have strong feelings towards it. I think I'd put it below Arischa, because Arischa had better stakes, I think. Nice cats. Just kind of forgettable. The only thing that really stands out to me when I think of this movie is just the fact that they didn't go to the dog catcher and just left her behind without question.
Oh, I know this one.
Yeah.
That garbage.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this short. That goes into the fire. I mean, just so much of that movie.
Bottom.
Okay.
Just nothing.
Okay, listen. Everything you say about this movie that's bad is true, but I do have one counterpoint in muted voice chat.
I think I know what it is. Don't think I even need to look at it. Yeah.
That stupid trace of every woman in every Dingo movie.
Monty, go fuck yourself. She is beautiful.
A brunette.
She is a beautiful single mother. She's a beautiful single mother doing her best to raise a naughty child.
You don't know if she's single? I don't think they ever said that.
She looks like
you can't just tell Adam that she's not single.
She looks like if you took like a generic brunette woman and put like a Snapchat anime filter over her.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, Spooky, you look like a generic man who is a generic man. So there.
That's very funny coming from you.
So next up we have the Dalmatians movie.
God damn it.
I'm not gonna say the German title anytime for your convenience. I'm just gonna say this translates to The Search for the Dalmatians. And this is not the one that Caldicarus reviewed. Because for some reason, just like with Lion and the King, the one that ended up as a game wasn't the first movie, but the sequel. So the one that became Dalmatians 3 on the PS2 was the sequel to this one.
Oh man, I can't wait for Snow White and the Seven Clever Boys.
That's not Dingo Pictures. Dingo Pictures doesn't have animation as advanced as the Seven Clever Boys.
Fuck.
The clever bro. So the story here is, we have the Crummel dog, the brown dog, was like kind of bullied and left out by the asshole Dalmatian dogs. So then they decide to play a prank on him. They're like, yeah, we're finally gonna play with you. We're gonna play hide and seek. And then they tell him you're seeking, and then he counts down, and they just run off to prank him.
Prank him,
Go
John.
into the city, and they're approached by these two. I don't know if they're not Dobermans. These like Great Danes or whatever they are. I'm not good with my dog breeds. So
they look
these
like
two...
the worst drawn Great Dane Rottweiler hybrids I've ever seen.
They almost look like fucking hellhounds.
They have no detail. You can barely see what's going on with their faces because they're just such solid black.
So these two creeps just take these two little puppies in and force them to do slave labor in their factory where they have to can dog food. I don't know.
They own a factory.
I don't know what they were on when they came up with that scenario.
But the unpaid labor is dogs. I guess it's dog children instead of human children, but still.
The dogs themselves have a factory where they make dog children work, of course. So that's two of the Dalmatian puppies. One of the Dalmatians stays behind and realizes something's wrong, so now she has to work together with Crummel to save her siblings. Also, they do end up together. So this is supposed to be her. Now she has black ears. They couldn't keep that consistent, even though they had the little Dalmatian with black ears. Just make the one with the black ears the one that works together with Crummel so it fits, but somehow they couldn't keep it consistent.
I like how they're so much bigger than the other puppies, but then they're the same size, and also that's a different dog.
It's impossible. It's impossible. It can't be done. It's impossible to draw them correctly.
So yeah, they meet this gang of like junkyard dogs.
Of course. Okay, that was just a real dog, Trace.
That's the
ugly bulldog.
That's the fucking dog from Tom and Jerry.
And
that bulldog? Yeah, he looks like the dog.
So the bulldog at one point says, "My name's Butcher, that means butcher." Which is a great translation effect, because of course it's because in the original he said, "My name is Butcher, that means," and then the German word for butcher. But in the English dub here he says, "My name is Butcher, that means butcher." Thank you for clarifying.
They did not even try to like localize the joke, like have him say like the German word and say that means butcher or whatever the fuck. Just no.
Yeah, they could have done something like that, or take like any other foreign word for butcher, but yeah, no. He just said, "My name's Butcher, that means butcher." So they all must rescue the puppies, the puppies that are in trouble. No, do you know about the weird picture books that were also made without authorization from Dingo Pictures? Like some other company just made weird low quality picture books based on Dingo Pictures movies. So weird. There's so much confusion.
The bootleg Ouroboros.
So another crazy thing that happens, you know how some of these Dingo Pictures movies, they have the crow narrator that just flies in between, and then in the dinosaur movie it was the duck that did the same thing. So this has the crow narrator as well, but the crow narrator at one point just becomes a character and does things in the story.
Oh, it's like the fucking dude who wrote Beauty and the Spider-Man.
Yeah, basically, it's basically that. The crow's just the omniscient first-person narrator. So yeah, this is how the crow types in the code.
Just sort of flies into the keypad.
I mean, that's probably how a crow would do it.
Yeah.
Also, you know, regarding that old Kurt Icarus video, we do get the line, that's supposed to be a simple, to be a code, it's just a simple mathematics, which doesn't make sense. It also doesn't make sense in the German original. Because in the German original, they don't say, the crow doesn't say, it's just a simple mathematics. They say something that makes more grammatical sense. They basically say it's just a simple row of numbers or something like that. But it doesn't make sense either, because like that's what a code is. What do you mean? What else is a code supposed to be? Just a dumb line. But the line was also in the remake because they have a fucking flashback in there. We're gonna get to that at one point. Also, where is he? Where's Shaggy Dog? There's Shaggy Dog.
There's that cool dog.
Doesn't even
that
do
cool
anything in the
fucking dog
story.
from Animal
He just
Soccer
stands
World.
around in some scenes.
He kind of looks like Poochie from The Simpsons.
And then, of course, we also got the iconic Aldi bag. You know, and Shadow said, I am at Aldi.
Full of sweet potatoes? Those look like yams,
Those
yeah.
are supposed to be sausages.
Those do not look like sausages.
Those are some fucked up looking sausages.
So yeah, this movie is fucking stupid and batshit insane. And because of that, I'm gonna say party time tier. Just above the dinosaurs.
It's a fun and not super long watch, it seems.
It's dumb, but it's so batshit insane. Like some of the stuff that it turns around to being funny again.
It is the Minecraft
maybe this
movie of Dingo
maybe
Pictures.
this should go in science, but I'd put it below Aladin and Anastasia. But it is pretty it is pretty funny how the just the audacity of having like depicting child labor in your presumably animation for little kids.
Yeah.
Fucking Aldi bag full of severed penises.
This is one of the movies I remember actually seeing as a child. This played at like H&M or wherever. At some like bigger stores, they had like these fucking TV screens where parents could put their children in front of, and a lot of them used to have these movies on, and I remembered this one in particular. And being like, wow, that's so crazy. I hope they rescued the poor puppies from child labor. Such a shame such a shame that we had to go. I couldn't see how they saved the puppies.
You think?
Like, you just recount the plot of the movie to your mother and she's just sitting there in the front seat of your car.
Do you think there's anyone who like grew up on these movies and is like super nostalgic and like would defend them with their lives and insist that they're like better than like any Disney movies?
On a German upload of Aladdin, I remember actually seeing people like, oh yeah, I remember this, so great. I mean, it doesn't look so good because it's an old movie. It's like, it's not because it's an old movie. That's not the reason.
It's because it's bad.
It's not even that old, it's from the 90s. Another dog movie. We're staying with the dogs. This is Dingo Pictures made their own version of Balto.
Oh boy.
Of Balto? Oh no.
So
I think you mean The Adventures of the Brave Husky.
Oh sure.
yeah, that's
It's not Balto.
That's what what it was, whether it's what it was called on the DVD of the English release, but the German version was just called Balto, because you can't copyright the name Balto. It was just a real dog who did actual things. So yeah, this has the stupid polar bear and the seal I mentioned in the Atlantis riff. These are from Balto, like they were literally a cameo. They talk about being from Alaska. They have this running gag about the polar bear being cold and not wanting to go in the water. A neat detail in the, I think it's literally here at the beginning, that they show penguins in Alaska.
Penguins.
Because that
and I don't know if we're
not right.
gonna get to that
there shouldn't
today,
really be a polar bear in Alaska either.
But this...
There are bears. Not specifically polar bears.
I think... Actually,
This is actually really important, because it's actually set in a dystopian future where the ice caps have receded and polar bears are forced to the south.
Except there's still ice there. Spooky. And there's also penguins in the north.
No, polar bears are in Alaska.
Yeah, they are.
They're along the coast.
They're not super common,
Just
though.
the coast, yeah.
So, I don't know if we're gonna get to that movie, but this is not the only time that Dingo Pictures have shown penguins in the Northern Hemisphere. So, great. I think... Like, I don't know who made this decision, if it was Roswitha Haas or someone else, but yeah, whoever came up with the decision seems to genuinely believe that penguins live in the Arctic.
Yeah, I mean, I remember thinking that when I was like 5.
To be pedantic about taxonomy, the original penguin was on the Northern Hemisphere before we killed them, before we slaughtered them.
Yeah, we fucking ate them like fucking chicken wings.
We killed them. It ate their livers.
I'm mad about
the dodo bird.
No, the great auk. I'm so mad about that. I love.
Oh, the great auk. Yes.
I wish great auks would still be around. I mean, we still have laser bills, but they're not the same thing because they can fly. So I mean, are you all aware of like the general like origin story like of the real Balto?
Yeah, he was bitten by a radioactive husky.
Hero dog.
The real Balto wasn't like that special compared to all the other huskies like that were part of that whole ordeal. It's just that I guess he became a sort of celebrity afterwards.
Wasn't it just that he was like leading the charge during like the final neck of the run or whatever the hell?
Yeah,
he was the lead dog.
So they don't have the half-wolf thing from the Warner Brothers movie, which I wouldn't have put it past them to just lift that from there. Since they made the genie blue and they made Rasputin the villain in Anastasia, so they might as well lifted that. What they instead do is like the way they treat what they changed about the story is so weird. So instead of the dogs having to pull sleds to get the medicine, they're like, we can't pull sleds, so we're gonna choose 2 dogs who are just gonna go the whole way on foot. Which that doesn't make any sense, right? Like, why would just 2 dogs on their own on foot, how would they have an easier time going through the snowstorm than a sled with multiple dogs?
They would not. There's no logic there.
Like, I don't know if they just didn't want to animate the sleigh, but they did animate a sleigh at one point, so that can't be it. I don't know. It just
probably didn't want to animate all the fucking dogs. They probably have to like draw a whole other different dog or 2, and that's just too much goddamn work.
No, they just copy the same dog over and over in front of a badly drawn sled.
Dog with different color. So the premise is sorta alright, maybe. It's like Balto and his like rival, who's not named Steel. He's like Kumo. They have to team up even though they hate each other. So that sounds like a decent setup, but they then don't really do that much with it. They just get their shit together and go to Anchorage and get the job done, sort of. there's a weird scene when they're in Anchorage. Like, and this is just like classic Dingo writing. They go to Anchorage, they lie down and fall asleep in front of like the doctor's office, and the doctor's like, if they fall asleep on the journey home, they will die of hypothermia. But then he doesn't let them sleep in his house. He just lets them. Dirty. He just leaves them on his doorstep, where they would also freeze to death. So
about
that's
huskies?
That's already dumb. And then they do fall asleep on the journey back, and they don't die off. They don't freeze to death. So that's a setup.
Oh god,
it's
a classic
setup and no payoff. Just basic writing, man. Just basic writing.
That's the Frollo model. Hey, and there's the old man.
That is the Frollo
same
model.
face.
You're right, yeah.
He looks.
He
like
just doesn't have a
animated...
hat on, and they added glasses.
And that is
Can I just say?
mother.
I want to say something really depressing. I'm gonna
no.
say. I think it's a good. I think the Dingo Pictures in the Disney version of the Hunchback of Notre Dame are a testament to how accuracy does not breed better quality. Because I'm gonna say it. Fucking the Dingo Pictures one is more accurate.
It is, yeah.
Is the accurate portrayal of the actual story, and it's like, but it's terrible. It sucks. It's the worst.
Yeah.
So now that we got all of that out of the way, we need to watch the best scene.
Ugly dog.
You don't need to understand what they're saying to grasp the emotions.
Oh.
That's genuine terror. They killed that man in the recording booth.
They actually threw him off a fucking cliff.
Yeah, they actually fucking killed him in the booth.
Aren't they going the same way they came from? What are they doing?
They were on the way back. They were crossing that that gap before without problem. So I guess that's kind of foreshadowing done right. Credit where credit's due.
Was there like a log in between them originally?
No, they jumped the first time. He just didn't make the second jump because he was exhausted. Balto's delivery sounds like someone like trying to like lampoon the scene. Like it's like, oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Bro.
My friend fell to his horrible death.
No!
Fuck, God damn it! I was using his fucking Netflix password. Fuck.
No, who's gonna pay the subscription now?
I don't have money. I don't want to get a job. I'm doing this pro bono. They pay me a dog
I'm gonna
biscuit.
have to open another email account and do another free trial.
Why?
To finish Friends.
Yeah, but then Balto gets back, and I guess the one, like a little flask that he had around his neck is enough to save all of the children, I guess. I mean, I think we only ever see one of the children who is also just the Peter and the Wolf Peter.
The other dog is just dead, right? He's just fucking died, like, for real?
Yeah, Kumo's dead.
His corpse is just at the bottom of the ravine.
Wait, he actually died?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy
shit. They just killed him.
You know, they did not fuck around. So, yeah. I'd say this goes, like, just below the dinosaur movie. No, it is party time. Yeah, party time because just because of the Como death scene alone. This is a weird one. So basically, have any of you heard of Peter and the Wolf before?
Sounds vaguely familiar.
I've seen the 3D short film version of the Peter and the Wolf, yes.
Yeah, it was a Russian, like, musical fairy tale.
It's a Russian fairy tale.
I think they told us about in elementary school because, you know, it's a good way to learn about different instruments and how different instruments can convey different tone. Because, you know, there's that thing where, the oboe is the duck and the
piccolo is the Namekian.
Yeah, sure.
Basically, the flute is the bird and whatever. So, yeah, Dingo Pictures made an adaptation of Peter and the Wolf, and we're gonna get to the actual adaptation later, the original version. Because what happened is that apparently Dingo Pictures got a letter from a lawyer, because apparently Peter and the Wolf was still copyrighted, and of all the things, this was the one where Dingo Pictures was actually afraid to get in trouble, so they re-edited Peter and the Wolf and called it Benni and His Friends. Yeah, so they re-edited it so much that the stories kind of changed. Duck isn't eaten in this one. There is still the wolf, and the wolf is still a threat, but they don't actually, the wolf doesn't actually get to any of them. They cut that whole thing out. Instead it's like they're just mucking around, then they sorta hear that there is a wolf around somewhere, then they hear the wolf, and then the granddad is like, yeah, what if I made a trap and caught the wolf? And then he makes the trap and he catches the wolf, and there's like basically no tension, so they kind of just made it worse. And it's also really weird because they fucking just inserted Balto and Kumo again, but I don't think they don't call Balto, they call him something else. Yeah, now he's Miko.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, Peter and the Wolf came out in 1936. It's actually not that old, at least in comparison to like everything else that at least came out like 100 years ago.
Yeah. So they have Balto, but he's Miko now, but Como is still Como. And they're just there for no reason. They bicker for a bit, and it has no bearing on anything. This is just an unnecessary movie. Just weird. Just, I'd say this is worse than the original cut. I'd say the skulls in most of these movies are so stupid because this is a stupid movie.
No one even dies. How boring.
Hashtag release the wolf cut.
So the Sword of Camelot is
oh my god,
one of two Dingo Pictures movies that has a live action narrator.
I did watch Phaelus' review of this. I'm not ready.
Ugly. Oh, stupid looking dude.
I watched it before Phaelus reviewed it.
What if it was that fucking long legs? Look at it.
Back then it was my least favorite Dingo movie that I had seen so far. I think it isn't now, but it's still up there, or down there rather.
Guys, look at voice chat and then look at this guy. It's long legs.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Long legs.
I don't know what that is. Who's long legs?
He's a serial killer from a movie called Long Legs. He's played by Nicolas Cage. It is actually really, really scary.
So yeah, but basically we go through like different points in like the greater Arthur and the Round Table epos. Except some stuff is like kind of inaccurate and changed around. And the main issue with this is that it jumps around so much. It doesn't commit to any like single story.
What was it trying to be like
from the epic?
Like a Tarantino film? I don't know.
It just jumps around between random points, and then, real life Merlin in someone's backyard interjects, and
that's supposed to be Merlin, the wizard.
Yeah, that is supposed to be Merlin, and they drew him in the cartoon like that also. Like they he
looks like shit.
They did go through the effort of putting him into the cartoon.
God, this looks terrible. Oh no, I can't load the computer.
They
can't
also
take
have
it.
The little dinosaur who was
oh, you're so
pulling
cute.
the pedal in Dinosaur Adventure on like Oro's weird machine.
But he's supposed to be like a dragon, right?
I guess in this one it's supposed to be a dragon.
Yeah, because why the fuck else would a little fucking dinosaur?
So basically, the first animated scene is Arthur
going
against supposed to be Mordred. Who I don't know,
God.
He's supposed to be, the way they present him, he's supposed to be a like dangerous foe. But for some reason they also decided to make him like a weird little goblin creature person.
That is definitely not what Mordred
Shouldn't
was.
you
He
try
was a
to make
powerful
him-
evil knight and sorcerer born of Morrigan.
Basically, he fucking almost loses to him, and then Merlin has to save his ass. Yet they decided to make him look as stupid and unthreatening as possible. Like, even his horse looks fucking stupid.
It's a donkey.
It has those weak legs and the overbite. Like, come on. So yeah, then we jump to Excalibur. Then we're at the point where they already have the round table. Then they have like, what was his name? What's his name? Parzival.
Why does he look like a little bitch? Why does he look like a monk?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
why does he look like that?
Yeah, I don't like that either. They portray him like as a bumbling idiot.
No,
That is
Hear to his voice.
not
Oh,
accurate.
jeez, I wonder who that
Listen
is.
to his voice.
Ich
Great.
bin keiner. Verwendlich. Wenn du
Yeah, that's Parzival's
Oh, no,
voice.
Jesus
It's like
Christ.
it's like a voice I do as
Even
a
in the
joke.
language barrier, he sounds like Steve Urkel.
I'm Parzival.
Sounds like shit.
I'm an idiot.
I do that.
Then we jump to where they're looking for the Holy Grail, and then I guess they find the Grail, and like again you don't have an attachment to anything. They just jump around, and it's really boring. And you know,
God, fucking
It's
Arthur
not like-
looks like a fucking...
Armin Drogat's performance isn't bad. Like he's clearly doing his best, but the way they use him. Like, because they use them in a way where they just gloss over the exciting adventures. Like, instead of
And then
showing
they fought and killed the dragon.
they don't, yeah, they don't show the interesting parts. They just have Armin Drogat talk about it. And then when they animate scenes, it's just them talking and standing around. That's the biggest issue
What
with
else
this.
could they do?
I get that they're lazy and didn't want to animate the exciting stuff because that would be harder, but they did, like in the Hercules thing, for example, they did have action scenes. At least they didn't look good, but they did have them, so they could still
They
have
evolve.
that. And even this, they have the one sword fight with Mordred. It's just that it also sucks. I don't know. I still think they could have done better in this. I'd say this goes above Atlantis, but this is definitely throw it in the great big fire. So the next one is Animal Soccer World, which is it's a shame that Adam is away now because he watched that one with me.
Animal sport. Animal sport.
Probably have something to say about it, I think. I'm torn because on the one hand, this is one of the Dingo movies that I like to quote a lot. So I have like a positive bias towards it. On the other hand, it is kind of like a nothing movie. It's just like, you know, they're just stinking around. You're not specifically following like one of the teams, so you're invested in them winning. I mean, it ends in a tie, so like who cares if the Jungle Kings or the Wild Dogs win? I mean, I'm a Jungle Kings fan because, you know, that's where Wabuu is playing. I guess the closest thing to an actual conflict they have is like Joey, the Simba lion, the Simba ripoff lion, and Crummel, the dog, can't play together. Oh no. But even that, they don't really do that much with it. Then there's the conflict with Crummel being considered too small to play, even though they let the little Dalmatian play. And then he sorta does he shoot a goal? I think he does. So that's sort of an arc, but even that's really undercooked. And like, I guess you could consider Crummel the closest thing to a main character, but not really. It's just, how can we
It's
use
nothing.
all these assets that we have? I don't even think...
Half the movie is like animals having a debate, and then the rest of the movie is animals poorly playing soccer.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. I mean, I don't even think this one was based on anything. I mean, it has, like, the cover that was, like, based on, like, the one scene from... What was it called? Bedknobs and Broomsticks? But I'm pretty sure Dingo Pictures themselves weren't intending that. Like, someone else slapped that image on there. Dingo Pictures, I think they were just like, we're German. We Germans are obsessed with soccer, so just have our characters play soccer, I guess. Yeah, it has a few things that are just memorable, just from the... Like, just like with the dog movie, just the audacity of it. Like the fucking hooligans that have like weird S&M gear.
Yeah, that's weird.
I mean, I guess they're
remember the
supposed to
geese.
look like punks, but I don't know. Hooligans normally don't look like that either. They are normally just sweaty guys, so I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. It's just so much random shit, but the random shit is so stupid that I can't help but smile. I don't know.
The cat in boots, the anthropomorphic bird man who's the announcer. It's nonsense. I love it.
Yeah, there's the hooligans.
Look at her! That duck is cute! Those ducks are food! Why did they do this?
They're hooligans. I like the one with the
I like
beak
the
that
one on the
curves
white
down
with
Oh, the one with spikes on her chest. What the fuck?
the one on the white with 3 colors.
Yeah, that's... I mean, that's kind of funny. That's kind of a funny visual thing.
It's a kids movie. Is
That
this an
duck
abstract
who
reference that I'm not getting?
randomly has little hairs. They're hooligans. That's the joke.
Then we have a song number as well.
I don't know why there's a band playing.
I mean, they already had the Bremer musicians, and I don't know. I mean, people sing at stadiums, so why not have the Bremer musicians
I guess.
perform a song? And then it's just, they just took the song from the Bremer musicians movie and gave it football
Put it
lyrics.
here.
I'd say it's actually enhanced by the English dub, where they have the Dutch guy screaming over the German song playing.
Hier zijn we met z'n allen, we hebben een fijne tijd. We gaan een beetje ballen, het wordt een mooie strijd.
Of course, also the absolutely cursed like cheerleaders. It's just the sounds they make. I don't know.
No. And they have makeup.
How did this...
Their
how long
outfits
is Dingo
also
Pictures
change
around?
between shots.
They literally put lipstick on a pig.
Yeah.
This is quite the thing to come back to.
Hideous. All of it.
And then, of course, we all love, Harry, the reporter. Also love that there was this conflict with the vultures going, oh, you're biased against the one team that was just formed, and how would you? But, like, we know that you're biased for them. So they they report for the other team, and then they both just stand on opposite side of the field and are, like, completely... Like, they're both complete hacks for the respective other teams. I mean, that is kind of funny to give Dingo Pictures credit. I mean, that's basically the spirit of football. I don't know, is this...
Pleasant trash.
I still think this should at least be here. And I would put it... I would put it probably at the upper end here. Because, it is a nothing movie, but at least it's kind of funny. And in my opinion,
is that
that's
the one
better
with the
than being
fucking...
just forgettable.
That's the one with the fucking goose that does the fucking siren sound. That's one of the most grating noises I've ever heard in my life.
Well, I think it doesn't sound like that in the original. I think... Let me look for the scene, because I think that sound is actually from the Dutch dub, because the people who made the English dub are probably Dutch, so they just left the sound from the Dutch dub in. I mean, it's still a stupid sound, but yeah, it's not the really good one. So this one, I don't think I have too much to say about this one, because it's like a pretty faithful adaptation of the fairy tale. So like, it doesn't make for a particularly exciting watch, but it's also not bad. Like, at least you can show this to your kids, and they learn what the
I would
fairy
show
tale is
anything
about. I
from Dingo
guess
Pictures to my kids, man.
you might as well also just read them the tale, but I don't know.
That would be less damaging.
If you were a German parent and I don't know, Simsalakrim wasn't on that night, and you're too lazy to read them an actual book, at least if you showed them this, they wouldn't get any wrong information. That is just what happens in the fairy tale, basically. There's Ripper Thumper.
There he is again.
Only thing I really have to say about this is that there was one line that I thought was really stupid. Just to add insult to injury, it was delivered by this offensive Saxon stereotype.
Ein Kader, der sprechen kann.
Und Stiefel an.
Yeah, the offensively Saxon guy. So the scene here is that where Puss in Boots goes talking to people working the land, and is who does this belong to? The wizard? Oh yeah, well, when the king comes around here, you're gonna tell it belongs to my master, or I'm gonna fuck you up, I guess. I, a house cat, am gonna kill you.
Der König will gleich hier vorbeifahren und wenn fragt, wem die Wiese gehört, müsst ihr antworten, dem Grafen. Wenn ihr das nicht tut, werde ich euch alle totschlagen.
What?
He literally said, I'm gonna kill you all. Don't say that.
Why?
Damn.
What did they do?
I think I'm experiencing brain death.
He's just blackmailing them, basically. Because he's the hero.
They're just workers. They're just literally,
He's not gonna actually do it, he's just a trickster. I mean, he is gonna kill the wizard.
He's like, listen here, get the fuck off my land or I'm gonna kill you because I'm a trickster.
these people are literally essentially serfs.
Wait, does he kill the wizard in this? I want to see how he kills the wizard.
Well, the wizard turns into a mouse and then he eats the mouse. That's what he does in the fairy tale. So the Saxon guy says, oh, the wizard probably sent him to put us to the test, so we're gonna do it as he says. And I don't know, if you believe that, if the wizard sent a cat to put you to the test, didn't you just fuck up by saying it belongs to the other guy? Wouldn't that mean that you are not that line in particular, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense.
This is dumb shit.
Oh,
Wabuu.
So yeah, where am I gonna put this? I mean, this is definitely mid-tier.
Trash.
But, I don't know, it works for what it is. I'm still gonna put it...
is this one the closest to being an actually competent movie?
Yeah, I guess I should put it even higher. Because it does what it sets out to do. It is, competent for what it is.
For a Dingo Pictures film, it's almost something.
So I think I'm gonna put it here. It's not quite science tier because it's too forgettable for that, but you gotta give it credit for being kind of competent. But yeah, next movie is The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Still don't have collected this. Covered this one, as you can see here.
Wow. Look at that beautiful city of Notre Dame.
Yeah, don't they fucking show the Eiffel Tower in this?
Of course.
They did. I think they literally have a scene where they drew an Eiffel Tower, but it looks weird, and it's next to a field. But yeah, I will say this. This is pretty. It is more accurate to the book than the Disney movie.
Yeah, the Disney movie was beautiful to look at. It had great songs. Does this have those things?
Read the original book?
I don't think this has
I know
songs
what the original
at all.
book is about.
And I mean, the visuals, I mean, they speak for themselves. I mean, look, there's even this, there's a fully digital sequence. That's always nice to see. With the bell. This is always interesting when you don't have the weird, watercolored backgrounds, but, the scene is fully digital. You don't see that often in Dingo Pictures films. And then I will say this, considering this is based on a book, like this does have a story. It does have a like halfway coherent plot, if only for the fact that it's adapting something. You know, there's some Dingo films like Atlantis are just, you're doing random shit. This one has stuff happening, this one has a story. The big thing with this is, of course, it is weird to have such an accurate adaptation of the book, but it's also made for children, because, you know, the book, it isn't really a children's book, and it is pretty brutal at times, so kind of an awkward position for this. But I would say this goes like, I mean, we probably agree this goes like in one of the higher tiers, right?
I don't remember watching it when the SCC did it, but I'll take your word for it.
I'll trust you.
Frollo was also
I mean,
one of the more memorable villains, like within Dingo Pictures. That's not saying much, but like, you know, he was kind of memorable and he did shit, so again, that's because it's adapting something and he did shit in the book, but you know, still gotta hand it to Dingo.
I just wish that it left us some moral, like a trinket you hold in your palm. And that's from the re-adaptation of the music in a musical. They changed the last song with that. That's it. That's the only joke I have for us right now.
The outfits in this are, I mean, I guess Dingo Pictures knows as much about medieval fashion, because I assume that's where this film is supposed to set, right? Because the book is set in late medieval Paris, so you'd assume this would be too. But like, what are these outfits?
One of them's dressed like a pimp.
Yeah, the pimp one. Then the grandma looks like, I don't know, that just looks like a granny in the modern days, and then this looks like it's from the 19th century or something. This guy looks like Walter Ulbricht, former head of the GDR, the main character, which I'm pretty sure they have used this design to portray a woman at one point. Like, they've used like the template for a woman at one point, and then in this case they made him a man and gave him a mustache and a like chin beard. Like, great character designs, and there are some like original character designs. I mean, Quasimodo himself. I think this guy originated here. I don't remember if he wasn't. He might have been in something else, but like, that's also a great design.
He looks like a Lex Luthor Dracula.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, regarding period appropriate fashion, like, this is like a Baroque wig, so yeah, I don't know. But then again, we've talked about, have we talked about, no, we haven't talked about Pocahontas. I messed up.
Oh no. Whoa, Pocahontas, I have some comments and opinions on that.
We have Wabuu.
We'll get to that. Let's just say for now, they get a bit confused about a lot of stuff, but also about history.
They seem pretty confused in general.
Yeah. I'd say actually this goes, I think I like Anastasia more, but I will put it above Dalmatians, I think. I think this is one of the better ones. Yeah. And now we get to Lion and the King, actually. The German
classic
title
one
says The Big Adventure. So the full title is The King of the Animals, The Big Adventure. We're talking about this right before we're talking about the original. So I don't know, maybe should we talk about the original first before we talk about the sequel? I think that would make more sense. This is an interesting one. So basically, you know, the Lion King, the king of the lion is the king of the jungle, and like I guess he's a good king, like at least an okay king.
What I don't understand is like how a lion got to a jungle. They live in like Great Plains.
You're right, but it's
they're
just
more
common turn of phrase, King of the Jungle.
animals, yeah. The line is the king. Then they find diamonds somewhere. They find diamonds. Somehow they're already like polished and everything. And
so he just stole them. He stole them from somebody else, I bet.
They agree to not mine them because that would like attract the humans, and the humans would poach the jungle or something. But there's also the Black Panther who is bad and wants to take power, and then the son of the lion is born, which is of course Robin. And
name your son after a bird.
I mean, you know that if you've seen Lion and the King, you know Robin, Robin the Lion, and the king gets starts being unattentive, doesn't really listen to his subject, so they're like kind of weirded out. But then when Robin's born, everyone's like, yay, he has a son. But then they find out that the king has kept some diamonds for Robin to play with, and the panther uses this basically to stage a coup. He's like, see, this guy's just keeping all the wealth for himself, the diamonds. If I'm king, you're all gonna be rich. That's his pitch, basically.
Yeah, how dare he take the rock we can't eat or do anything with, really.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can always ask, well, what worth would diamonds have to an animal? But yeah, they drive the old king out. He goes into exile. He's also like sick because a poisonous snake bit him, not to be confused with the advisor snake, who's not in Lion and the King, but she's in this. We'll talk about that when we get to Lion and the King. But in this one he has an advisor snake, and she likes quoting literature randomly.
Ooh, Princess in Love, my favorite book.
So the old king is in exile. His son grows a bit older and learns about, we were driven out by this coup, by this Black Panther who staged the coup. And it turns out the Black Panther is like letting all the other animals slave away to mine the diamonds. Like, everyone has to work all the time. They don't have free time at all. I mean, the bear doesn't have it that bad. He's just a cook, but I guess he's fed up with cooking the same meal every day. I'd say that's not as bad as slave labor, but he's pretty fed up too. Oh, I didn't mention the vultures. There's like spy vultures.
Julius, are you not familiar with the phrase "slaving away at a hot stove"?
No.
That is yeah.
There's also spy vultures. Like, even before the panther takes over, they're like, what are these other animals doing? Let's tell the king about this random thing.
Yes, the vultures, famously nature's stealthiest birds.
So yeah, then they work for the Black Panther, and there's also the asshole parrot.
Diamonds are the girl's best friend.
Yeah, she also sings "Diamonds are the goat's best friend." So, yeah, things are pretty bleak in the jungle. And then there's also, probably my favorite part, they hire like migrant workers from Italy, like Italian moles who have to mine the diamonds. They're like pretty bad stereotypes. It's like,
Immer Schafe, nix Geld. Ich mit der ganzen Tag, ich schaufele, andere Baustelle, immer nix Geld. Am Abend
so...
That's so spicy hate to crime.
Yeah, you couldn't understand him, but like, I think you get the picture just from his his gestures.
Why is the panther kind of cute?
Oh yeah, she's definitely got that Nala fuckable lion look.
I thought the panther's a dude.
Yeah, the panther's a dude.
Are they?
The panther's a dude, and I didn't mention this, but his name
The panther's a femboy, confirmed.
the panther's name is Bokassa, which is the name of an actual dictator. Like, he was like the dictator of the Central African Republic, and apparently like one of the worst African dictators, like really brutal. So great that they named this character in their stupid lion movie after him. Not unique to this movie, but I gotta say, this like Dingo Pictures mole design doesn't look like a mole at all. It looks like they took like their chipmunk design, like removed the ears, made it black, and then it's supposed to be a mole. Like, it doesn't look like a mole. So back in exile, Robin and his mother hear about all of this, and they're like, we gotta do something about this. Also, Thumper is Robin's friend, and he's voiced by the German Wabuu voice. It's not only the same voice actor, but also the same voice. So they hatch out a plan, and what do you guys think? What do they do to get the jungle back from Bokassa's claws? What is their
I
great
don't remember.
plan?
It's been so long. They blew up the diamond mine. They got TNT, right?
No,
Is that what happened? I hope.
That would make way more sense than what they actually do. Basically, they want to bribe the vultures so that the vultures will like help the bear poison the panther. Which, you know, that's, I guess, kind of sensible, maybe. But you know what they're bribing them with? They bribe them with computers, which they somehow have. Somehow in their shitty exile in the jungle, they have 3 computers to give to the vultures.
And what do you think they were using the diamonds for? The diamonds were going to be used for carbon chips.
So yeah, they bribe the vultures.
It's the perfect element for computation.
The vultures betray the panther, and they tell the bear to poison the panther, and the panther gets poisoned. He's passed out, and they put him on a raft and just let him float.
Man, he looks high as fuck.
And they're
I
like,
hope he's having a good time. He looks like he's having fun.
The snake is like, no, we shouldn't kill him, because killing people is wrong, even if they're bad. So they're like, you know, then let's put him on a raft and just let him throw down the river and onto the ocean. And it's like, yeah, that's also gonna kill him. Like, if he wakes up and he's on the ocean, there's no way he's making it out of that. Like, that's basically a more gruesome way to kill him. But okay. So then the old king is back, and they're like, you know, it's great that the old king is back, but also we love democracy now on, because now you from now on you can elect your king. But of course, I think we all know that you're gonna elect Robin as the next king when I die, right? So great. All's well that ends well. Yeah, I don't know. This one is simple and stupid, but it's also kind of funny. I'm gonna put this above Dinosaur Adventure, but below Cat on Boots, I think. I think Cat on Boots is more competent. But yeah, overall I think this is one of the more... Like, this is one of the ones you can watch and laugh at and have a good old time. And now we get to the sequel. Which again, this is the actual Lion and the King. This is what got released as Lion and the King, instead of the original, which doesn't even have an English dub. This again, like Adam said, has some good quotes. Lion and the King, I think we should be enemies. Shut up, Dundee. I gotta say this though, having watched the original, actually having rewatched the original, I haven't mentioned this, but someone I knew actually had King of the Animals, the movie we just talked about, on DVD. I was over at their place, and his father was like, yeah, you wanna watch, I think he literally said, yeah, you wanna watch The Lion King. And then they put this shit on, and I was like, wait, it doesn't say The Lion King, this says King of the Animals. Like, what? This doesn't look like Lion King. The thing with Lion and the King is, upon rewatching the original, I realized that Lion and the King is actually a really shitty sequel. It's not like the original was great, but like hypothetically, if I was actually invested in anything that happened in the first movie, I would be pretty disappointed by Lion and the King. Because first of all, like a lot of the characters don't even appear in Lion and the King for some reason. Like first of all, like Robin's mother doesn't show up for some reason. I don't know why. And the advisor snake from the original is also just gone. Again, I don't know why. Instead of the advisor snake, Robin's father has an advisor bird, which is just, you know, the normal bird. It's just the bird that they always use. That bird was also in the first movie, but in a different role. There, it was actually multiple ones, and they were just supposed to be migratory birds, and they told them about... Basically, they were messenger parrots, because they told them what was going down in the jungle while they're in exile. So they tell them about all the terrible things the panther did. I wonder if they put this bird as the advisor because of Zazu. Because, like, otherwise, I don't know.
That's probably it.
Why would you need this character if the king already had an advisor animal in the other movie? But yeah, in a similar vein, the rabbit friend from the first movie also got replaced for some reason. In the first movie, Robin had Thumper as a friend. In this movie, he has, like we all know, Dundee the crocodile as a friend. But again, it's like, why? Why make up this new character when you already had a character that would have served this exact role? And like, unlike with the bird, where I'm like, maybe it's because they wanted to have a Zazu in this. With this, it's like, I don't know, there wasn't a crocodile friend in Lion and the King, as far as I'm aware. I don't know, I haven't seen Lion King 2, which is probably where they got like the basic ideas for this, you know, becoming friends with the enemy. Did one of the main characters have a friend crocodile there? Like, I don't know. The king is an asshole, that's another thing. It's like weird, in this one, the king is like, yeah, I'm always worried about the panther, Robin, and you can't do anything. When you have watched the first movie, that actually becomes dumber, because he didn't do shit in the first movie. Like, to be fair, he was bitten by a snake, but like, then when he was in exile, like, he didn't even help with retaking the jungle. It was basically all Robin's idea, and because he was like too depressed or something. But in this movie, it's like, no, Robin, you can't go out and play. The panther could come back. He wants revenge or something. My god. Like, even the character's characterization kind of sucks. And then, you know, I haven't talked about the voice acting much. The German dub of this also kind of sucks, like, even for Dingo standards. You know, when you don't speak the language, then it's hard to like grasp how bad or good the voice acting quality is. But like, I just want you to listen to Robin's voice in this, Robin's German voice.
For sure.
And this is a different voice actor. Like, they, like, for almost all of the characters that were in the original, they changed the voices in this.
Jüngste. Ich flieg ja schon.
Okay, where
Robin,
is he?
bleib stehen, bleib doch endlich stehen.
Bist du verrückt geworden? Ich hätte dich fast überrannt.
Du sollst zu deinem...
So, I don't know if that comes through the language barrier, but
that's literally that's just a kid.
Yeah, that's a bored kid at that.
That's not even a kid actor.
Like, that voice actor is like, I can't do anything because of the stupid panther. Like, he sounds like a kid who is like forced to act but doesn't really want to, so they're mumbling through their lines. And then, you know, the father, King Magard in German, he just kind of sounds like, I always thought he kind of sounded like
Du jagst
Wabuu.
unsere Untertanen. Das gehört sich nicht für einen zukünftigen König.
I guess fits him being an asshole, but come on. Doesn't this kind of sound like Watto? Hey, Robin! You know, if I can give this movie something, at least it has a plot. It's like kind
There's
of
a lot of
half-assed,
quotable
but
moments, honestly.
It has a lot of quotable moments. So yeah, also another great scene is where they fall and they're just PNGs rotated.
So good. So good.
Almost as
No,
good
this
as
movie
the
is-
Como death scene.
Honestly, this is one of the funnier movies. Like, there's a lot of Dingo Pictures movies that I think are only slightly funny. This one's really funny.
I mean, just off facts alone, I think that's gotta be an S tier.
I don't know if I want to give it S tier
No.
because
Just the clip. Just the clip.
You know what? That's almost as funny as the bootleg Lion King game where Simba hangs himself if you lose.
Oh god. So I'm thinking of Party Time. Yeah, Party Time. I want to put it below the first movie just because it is like kind of failing as a sequel. But also it's very quotable, so it still has to go in Party Time. I'd actually say maybe let's put it just below King of the Animals, because I think if I had the choice between rewatching Dinosaur Adventure or Balto and Lion and the King, I'd probably choose Lion and the King, and I think it has more quotable moments, and it's also shorter than Dinosaur Adventure, less boring stuff, more to the point.
I love this one.
Yeah. Honestly, this one for me, it was kind of, aside from the part where they imitate the police siren, I thought it was kind of dull.
In case you haven't seen that movie, this is one of the ones that has an amazing dub.
Use the donkey anymore.
Yeah.
The
here it
former
is.
miller became real smart businessman. He built a playground around the mill. He kept the donkey. Visitors of the park just loved the donkey. A real donkey in front of the mill was not that real to take pictures of.
Yeah, the translation is also really bad. Again, even worse than the ones they usually have. I mean, this is still comprehensible compared to Aladin, but it is pretty bad. And I think watching it in German makes it a bit less dull, Adam, I'd say, because, the English voice actor here is very low energy. Like, both of them
Yeah,
are.
you're
There's
right.
another one, but they're both really low energy.
Put the suitcase on his back and off they went to Bremen. It wasn't
It's especially uncanny because, like, the real life actor, is giving a decent performance. I think this is Georg Waltz, which is like one of the Dingo voice actors who I think has like a at least semi-professional background. It's funny, in Dingo's Camelot movie, I thought the live action segments were pretty bad because they were used to skip over parts that were like over all of the interesting parts. In this one, it's kind of the opposite, because like there's a lot of stuff that I don't really need to see in an adaptation of Bremerton Musicians. I thought it was actually kind of nice in this one, having the real life sections to kind of gloss over some of the more boring parts, or like the explanations when the animals explain their backstories. Like, sure, and like he's giving a pretty energetic performance. You wouldn't know if you watched the English dub. I mean, you can kind of see it, but then you have the voice of someone who doesn't give a flying fuck.
Few famous colleagues of mine. They are.
It's especially great with him like whistling cheerfully, and then like you hear the audio cutting out, and then the bored guy starts talking. It's so jarring. So yeah, it's pretty short. It's like a pretty faithful adaptation, I'd say, overall, of the fairy tale that's adapted here. they kind of modernized it. Now it's not like the animals being worked to death, it's the donkey. It's like the mill is getting turned into an amusement park, and like the dog is fed up because like an alternative couple bought the farm that's not really a farm anymore. So like all of this modernity creeping in. I guess the cat was just fed up with people listening to loud music at the camping site. So it actually even has some themes about modernity. I found it kind of funny that in the original tale, the backstory of the animals was like that they were being worked to death and at the threat of being killed. And with this, it's more like the animals are fed up with not having enough work. You know, the dog is fed up because the farm is not a farm anymore. He can't scare like people off anymore. The cock isn't allowed to crow anymore. The donkey doesn't like getting photographed all the time. I guess the cat doesn't really fit into this. They couldn't think of a proper backstory for her. Well, you know, it's kind of funny, but at least they're consistent. And then, of course, it has the song, like even in the English version, because they just kept the German song.
Ist unsere Welt. Panko, Pippa, Rock'n'Roll, wie es uns grad gefällt. Wir
Real
leben
Jam.
im Räuberhaus, es geht uns wunderbar.
And then, of course, they also reused this song in Animal Soccer World, and they just gave it football lyrics. But yeah, overall, I think I enjoy this one.
Yeah,
I'd place a tier.
I personally wouldn't rank it that high, but it's your list.
Yeah. If I'd only seen the English version, to be fair, I would probably also rank it lower, but I have seen the German version and I thought it was charming. Like, I think having better voice actors actually helps it a lot. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a snake holding a machine gun like the Fearless 4. You know, that more big budget animated adaptation of the same fairy tale, which might have been what this was trying to cash in on. I'm not sure. It could also be just it could be that they just decided to adapt this fairy tale because this is a well-known fairy tale. But there was, I think, around this time, a more like high-budget animated movie called The Fearless 4. I think it was released by Warner Brothers, I don't know. So yeah, that's the Bremertown Musicians, and next we're looking at the Mouse Police, which
the Grey Mouse Detective.
Mouse Police.
No, I don't. I do not think they were trying to cash in on the Great Mouse Detective for multiple reasons. So this one, it's weird to suss out what this was trying to cash in on, because I think it's kind of two things at once. So for one thing, I think some of these designs kind of scream like Mickey Mouse to me, which would make sense enough. You know, these designs kind of look Mickey Mouse-ish. Then this guy really looks like...
he doesn't look
like
a
Mickey Mouse
infringement right there.
But he looks like they traced a Mickey Mouse character. And I guess this is also a very weird design, because like, why is the fur on his head darker than the one of the fur on the rest of his body? But yeah, for one thing, Mickey Mouse, and then the title, the German title, Die Mäusepolizei, which just means the mouse police, but also the film The Rescuers. In German it was called Bernhard und Bianca, die Mäusepolizei. So Bernhard and Bianca, the mouse police, because in Germany we like to put like unnecessary like surtitles on every movie adaptation for some reason. Maybe when they were done with this, they were like, what should we call this to make people think it's something else? But then the movie itself doesn't scream Rescuers at all, so I don't know. I think the movie itself is more like, you know, teenage or kids sleuth stories sell really well in Germany. There's like a ton of franchises. And we
Yeah, I was
got-
gonna ask you if the Hardy, like the Nancy Drew or anything like that got popular in Germany. If you guys were that was popular over there, that kind of
I
stuff.
don't know, what is Nancy Drew? I don't think I've heard of Nancy Drew. I don't
Detective.
think
She's a detective.
I haven't heard of the Hardy Boys.
Bio detective.
The Five. I don't know. Is it called the Five? No, I think it was the. No, wait. I don't think. What was it called? The Fearless Five? No, I think I'm thinking of the Famous Five. That's the one I was thinking of. The Famous Five. The Famous Five was really popular, especially as like audio dramas. I had a lot of I listened to a lot of these, the Three Investigators, and then some lot of homegrown franchises like TKKG and Deep Pfefferkörner. A lot of teenage and children sleuthing around. I think Dingo probably just thought, yeah, stuff like this sells really well, so let's do that. So because this is about like two kids sleuthing around, bunch of cheese has been stolen. They find the gang, then they're in peril, and the police and the adults have to save them. You know, standard. This is like all kind of standard stuff. I mean, it's not good, but it's like serviceable, I'd say. Like, it's not high art in like even as far as like kids sleuthing goes. Like, there's better stuff for sure, but at least this is one of the ones that has a plot and it doesn't mess around a bunch. Actually gets to the point. So I'd say this is alright. It's not great either. I'd say goes like on top of C tier or something. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about the Mouse Police. Right, and just staying with like sort of detective stories, because this is actually one that Phalos reviewed very recently. Oh, we're right on the best friend.
Oh, that is hideous.
So
that is
the
absolutely hideous.
I'm not sure if that's hideous. It's just the gamma's turned way too up on this thing.
Yeah, that too. This upload is really bad quality.
He looks
but I
like
think
Bugs
it's
Bunny
enough
getting a
for him.
blowjob. Look at that face.
Yeah, I always thought this frame to me really looks like something from Tails Got Troll, doesn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, this looks like Bugs Bunny in Tails Got Trolled, and you can't tell me otherwise.
He's like, this is not the best head I've had in my life.
The title translates to the nicest stories of the Easter Bunny or something like that. And basically the story is there's a secret village of Easter Bunnies, and one day a bunch of eggs get stolen. And they explain that those are like, basically, like as they explain, most bunnies these days just use one color, but there's one family that does a bunch of Easter eggs like with multiple colors and like more complex patterns and stuff. Children apparently send letters to the Easter Bunny village. The children that send letters are sent these like more elaborate eggs. Basically, the children who made the effort to write to the Easter Bunnies as a bonus get the nice eggs. But these eggs in particular get stolen. So that's where Detective Harry comes in, and you might recognize the name Harry, because, you know, Harry is also the name of the reporter, and Harry the reporter was also kind of based on this design, and as we'll see later, he also got turned back into a bunny. So he gets on the case, goes through the forest, basically he finds a trail of feathers, goes through the forest following the trail, but then a fox appears, and now Harry's in it. And he tricks the fox by going, well, if you let me go, I'll find the chicken, and then you can eat me and the chicken. And the fox is stupid and lets him go. And that's how he escapes that perilous situation. So yeah, then he finds the thief. It was indeed a chicken. You'd think the reason why the chicken. And Fail is actually, in my opinion, got this wrong when he reviewed this movie. I don't think he quite got the motivation of the chicken right. Because you'd think it would be that the chicken is like, you know, you Easter Bunny stole these from me. These belong to me. You know, you'd think it'd be something like that. But no, the chicken says, you know, I thought it would be nice if this year we gave the children little chicks instead of Easter eggs. Wouldn't that be nice? And you know, I fucking hate that. I don't like that. Like, first of all, that means this chicken brought like over 100 children into the world just so they can be sold into slavery, basically. Well, not sold into slavery, but given away to random kids.
Jesus Christ, weird.
Which leads me to my other problem, because like, I don't like that the little chicks are portrayed as just a funny little Easter gift. Like, because those are still living animals, and you know, I could really see children watching this be like, why can't I get a chicken for Easter? It's also like, this story is like kind of bare bones and not really interesting. It's like kind of, yeah, then the detective goes there, and then he goes there, and then he finds the culprit, and it's like, it's not like presented as an interesting mystery as well. It's like just, oh, it was stolen, I'll just follow the trail, and look, there's the thief. But it does have a song,
Inside job.
which I will play now. Now this is analog horror. So the animation of the singing bunnies is almost unnaturally fluid for Dingo Pictures, I gotta say. So basically the song is asking, what does a real Easter bunny need? And then he like jokingly says like different, he like jokingly suggests different body parts of different animals to put on the Easter bunny to make it something different, and we get this cursed imagery, like, look at this shit.
I mean, I have no mouth and I must scream love is a whore.
Yeah. I mean, look where his mouth is, that doesn't even make sense. Like the potato sack ears. And then they're all laughing at him, laughing at his misery. Look at how unhappy he looks.
Wait, that's his mouth? I thought that was just a weird, like, ridge or something.
I thought that was supposed to be the mouth, I don't know.
Huh.
Yeah, then we got the giraffe.
And that is so it's just a rabbit? Giraffe. Look at his butt.
You're rabbit.
He's like, he has the kill me face on right now.
The pig. Where is it? Yeah, there's the pig. He's also miserable. And they're all laughing at him.
Oh, we're back to elephants again.
Yeah, this,
Wait,
now
no,
it's all things combined, and now it looks extra cursed. So yeah, not a great thing. I think the scores in most of these movies are so stupid below Benni and his friends, I'd say. Not a big fan. This is actually the better version though. I'm gonna explain why I like this version more, despite looking worse than the remake. But for now, we have another movie that we already covered on Donut Like Donut Read, because it's the Prince. It's Moses, the Prince of Egypt. Or as the German title says, A Prince for Egypt. See, legally distinct. And you know, do you have any thoughts, Adam?
Again, I think the whole thing was kind of dull. There was a few voice lines in the English dub that were funny. I died laughing when we watched this when they played the womp 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 music when the Red Sea closed back up.
Yeah, though there is funnier uses. There is funnier uses of the wop wop wop, like in Wabuu, when we're gonna get to that, but in Wabuu, where Wushel passes out.
Yeah, but I think it's also like I'm also still really salty that they did not use the blatantly obvious tie of if the narrator is a snake, the narrator should have also been Moses' staff. That would have been legitimately
that
clever.
Been such a no-brainer, but it would have been kind of clever, and they just didn't do it.
Creatively bankrupt, unfortunately. That's the thing.
Also, the pharaoh just looks fucking horrible. I don't know what they were thinking in this design. I wrongly said in our video that I thought this was in something else, but apparently it wasn't. So they literally made this for this movie. I don't know.
They were thinking Doc Brown is where it's at.
But this guy's from Aladin, they just recolored him a little. You know, that's okay. And then, of course, this movie has a... If you just want to watch this as an adaptation of the Bible tale, then there's a slight problem here. Yeah. You know, instead of talking through the burning bush, they thought, no, we can't just have him talk through the burning bush. He gotta show up in person, and he's also just fucking Zeus. They just took Zeus from their fucking Hercules movie, and that's supposed to be God. Funny enough, this is about Moses. I'm pretty sure that's literally against one of the 10 commandments. You know, you're not supposed to make pictures of me. Like, what is this? Come on, Dingo. So, kind of sacrilegious. Kind of fucked it up there, Dingo. Yeah, boring doll. I don't know. Here maybe. Here-ish. Actually, I don't know. I'd rather watch Benni and his friends than this shit. So, I don't know. I think it goes right here. I think this is where it belongs. With that, we are at this one, which we didn't technically cover, but you might still recognize it. You might recognize these character designs, because Toys Room was a remake of this. And it's actually interesting because this came out before Toy Story, and then like, I think it was like 1 year before Toy Story, and then the same year as Toy Story, which was just 1 year after, they made the fully animated remake, and called it, instead of something about Christmas, it was, Toys. Toys Room in English, but the German name was also Toys, like the English word. And it's like, yeah, I don't think the story itself was trying to rip off Toy Story, but I think what happened is like, Toy Story came out and they were like, wait, we already made this movie about toys, what if we remade it and then called it like something with toys, so it kinda seems like Toy Story. So yeah, this is one of the storybook movies, so no real voice acting, it's just one person being the narrator and also doing all the voices. And everything looks really lumpy and cursed. This is like the original iteration of Charlie Chip. He still has the stupid joystick. At least it's not in the middle of his body here, so it's like a little bit less like a dick, but still, I don't know, man. I don't know, Charlie Chip, I'd put that away if I were you.
One thing I don't like this one is it's just hateful and just annoying. There's no real charm to it.
Yeah, the story's kind of miserable because it's like there's a new toy, and this child, the child that gets the new toy, apparently only ever plays with one toy. Like, he doesn't have the brain capacity to play with more than one toy at once. And like, some of these toys are very specialized. Like, one of them's a cushion, but he doesn't use it in his bed. Like, he doesn't sleep with his cushion, but he does later put the baby doll in his bed. And I guess he doesn't go skateboarding anymore because he gotta play with his baby doll, which is like, not to be sexist, but it's just a weird choice that the new toy that becomes his favorite and replaces the old one is like an ugly baby doll that cries. Like, I'm still of the opinion that it would have made way more sense if Charlie Chip was the new toy. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the angle of like, oh, he has video games now, and like, no, the video games demand your full attention. You know, that whole angle, it would have just made more sense on multiple levels. Instead, it's like, yeah, his new toy is a atrocious crying baby doll. That is also a dick and looks like a garbage pail kid. I guess if it's a garbage pail kid, that makes sense for a little boy. But yeah, normally it would like Pino's jealous at first, but then they work together. But then this is like, yeah, Pino's right. He is actually tossed aside. Like, the little boy literally does only play with this one doll anymore, and they don't really address this problem. Also, like, Pino runs away. Then the other toys get him back, but they don't really address the problem about the boy only playing with one toy at all. It's like at the end, the big message is like, I am number 2 now, but next year there's gonna be a new toy, and then you'll just be a second banana. So it's all based on spite, basically. Like, there's no positivity. It's just like, yeah, I'm suffering now, but you'll suffer too. What? It's just kind of miserable.
It's just a hateful movie.
Don't know if I'd call it hateful, but it's like, I don't know.
Every 11 minutes of your life is misery in here.
Regarding differences to the remake, which we're gonna talk about later, I mean, apart from like the drawing style here, I mean, you can see how that looks. A lot of the shots look like expressionist or something. Like, look at these streets, like, look at how the buildings are leaning. This is almost like experimental art. Pino's world is ending, so everything's caving in. He's walking through these like surreal winding streets, these like buildings that like all creep in on each other. Like, everything looks fucked up. It's almost like it's intentional. And then also they have one scene that wasn't in the remake here. You have the scene where he approaches this place, and there's a dog, and the dog barks at him and scares him away. So they just cut out that whole scene from the remake, and like, yeah, that doesn't really matter. It doesn't really change that much. It didn't really add anything to begin with, but the dog does look pretty creepy. He has like vampire teeth. Overall, I'd say this probably goes in this tier, and I'd say probably here-ish. Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
It's
and
really not great.
Tired.
We're starting where we left off with Goldie, which this is the Bambi ripoff, sort of. It's just, unfortunately, it didn't look like the dramatic story of what it was ripping off. So basically, the story is there's Goldie, who's like a little deer. Goldie's mother gets kidnapped and put into a zoo, but the zoo is just a fence in front of a cave entrance somewhere in like the middle of nowhere. They help Goldie's mother escape, and then everything's all right, and it's we get the Goldie mother butt shot, and that's the movie.
That's
yeah.
I don't pretend to understand the need for that, but
And yeah, this is pretty inoffensive, but also boring. There's a cursed like talking tree, not as cursed as the bush from Pocahontas.
Kinda looks like they recolored a snowman.
Like I said, I don't have much to say about this. I guess I put this here. It's better than Nice Cats, I'd say. It's more like competent as a story. But it's also more boring than Arischa was. So yeah. That's where I'll put it. Yes, that's where I put it. Yes, that's what I'll do. Oh, I've been waiting to talk about this one. So, Humpy the Little Whale. This is conceptually, I'd say, one of Dingo's weirdest movies ever. Because, and maybe for your convenience, I'll show you the English fan dub. And I think this was lost until pretty recently. And still we only have this like really crappy VHS rip. So that's why it looks like shit.
Come with me to the oceans of the earth. Accompany the kings of the seas on their everlasting journey.
So as you might notice, this is like presented like a documentary, kind of.
Like March of the Penguins kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of. Except, you know, instead of having like stunning nature photography, you have these drawings, these shitty drawings. But yeah, this is like I think the only Dingo Pictures movie that's actively trying to be educational. And I think it was also by a different person than usual. Like usually it's Roswitha Haas writing these, but in this case it was someone else. Her name was Bärbel Ballweber, which is a great name. So that's who wrote this movie. At least she was the main writer. So like this is like a documentary, but it's also like a story. The story of like the main character Humpy. He's like a humpback whale calf going like on his first like journey, because you know, as you might know, humpback whales go on like annual journeys. They journey back and forth between the tropics and the Arctic regions of the world. So, but yeah, the story aspects of this movie are kind of bad, because like it happens often with Dingo that the main characters are like just kind of dicks to each other. Like that's often just the vibe of these movies. And then this is like, I think like at the start of it, like just random fish start to like be dicks to Humpy for some reason.
I'm still little, but just you wait. In a few months you won't be able to tell me apart from the others, Humpy proudly explains to the boxfish. Come on, you
context, this is a fan dub.
Yeah.
It'll take at least 3 years before you're as big as your mother. The moraine teases him. She's 60 feet long, she told me, says the boxfish.
Your mother's so
Humpy looks
fast.
offended. And besides...
Yeah, basically these random fish are just immediately dicks to this child, to this literal baby. So actually let me continue this scene, because I think this has one of the many like factual errors of this movie, because that's another thing.
You can't even feed yourself, laughs the barracudas.
Yeah, so this movie, for being educational, had just a bunch of errors. Like,
yeah, that's because the
calling these like pennant coral fish barracudas.
That's because the children's book they got these pictures from didn't have any barracudas, but they already wrote the script and like recorded
This
it.
reminds me.
I'm pretty sure though they made the picture, so that's what I don't understand. And like clearly they were using a reference, because these do look like pennant coral fish, but they don't look like barracudas. So I wonder how that happens. But yeah, in the same way, like these things are called boxfish. They don't really look like boxfish either. I remember when I was still writing the script, I was like searching for what this could be based on, and I found nothing, except it kind of looks like a piranha. But you know, this is supposed to be the ocean, so probably not.
It kind of looks like it looks like a parrotfish with
exactly.
Very vaguely. It has like some kind of like hump at his head, but then the one below that doesn't.
It looks like a piranha got a bowling ball dropped on its face.
Yeah, it's weird design. Maybe probably isn't based on anything. And then at one point they also called this like this grouper a I don't know, what did they translate it as actually?
They called the grouper a great white shark.
Yeah, they do say lionfish in the fan up. They basically said the German name for firefish, for lionfish, which translates to firefish. But yeah,
honestly,
they get their like fish species wrong somehow, even though they're drawing the pictures themselves.
I think the guys who did the matte paintings and the guys who wrote and recorded the dialogue were like two separate teams.
Yeah,
most definitely.
But there's other stuff about it that doesn't really make sense. I mean, this is probably nitpicky, but at one point they explain krill wrong. Like they basically say that krill is all plankton, which is not true. But my favorite thing is they do like describe exactly the route these whales are taking, and it doesn't make any sense at all. Or at least they're not describing the route, but they're naming like the places and like little pit stops they go on. So they start off in Hawaii. That's where Humpy is born. So we're in the northern Pacific, but then they say they're making a stopover at the Bermuda Islands, which are in the North Atlantic. So I don't know that did they go
like
around South
Bermuda.
America? That would be like insane, because like instead of swimming up north to the Arctic Ocean, you're going like basically almost to the Antarctic and then back up again. And then they go to what's literally say the Arctic Ocean, and guess what they show? Guess what they show when they're in the Arctic Ocean?
What is it? Oh man, it's turning into an analog horror. I love analog horror.
You can't see it, but those are penguins.
Seals and polar
Oh my
bears
god.
As the narrator says, they see like polar bears roll, and there's a picture of penguins.
Yeah, that's not a polar bear. I know polar bears. Those are definitely not polar bears.
But yeah, like I said this in Balto. I said in Balto, it's not the only time that they show penguins in the Arctic. This is the other time, and it's the time they're trying to be educational. So I don't know.
Now I do have a question. This is like the English dub of this, right?
Fan dub.
It's a fan dub, yeah.
It's a fan dub. So the original like writing
I've watched
for this
the original. It literally says the same thing.
It is
like down to the wrong species name.
I mean, I can't imagine the German word for polar bear and penguin are that similar.
No.
Maybe.
And they also do say the Arctic as opposed to the Antarctic in the German version. Like, I've watched that one first. It had all those, like, errors. That's not from the dub. So, yeah. This is weird. It's like, its heart is kind of in the right place, and they're, like, trying to educate children about... They're talking about, like, pollution and, like, the... I think this was when, like, the population of humpback whales was, like, really down.
Oh, yeah.
It's somewhat recovered since, luckily, but I think when this came out, it was still pretty bad, and they're talking about that, so that's good, I guess, but then it's kind of, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot by making, like, these, like, at times really trivial errors, like, not putting penguins at the North Pole should be, like, a pretty basic thing. Actually, since its heart is in the right place, I'm gonna put it at the bottom of the D tier as opposed to the top of the E tier. I think that's fair, but like, I don't know, making a lot of basic errors in an educational film is kind of bad, and then the story that's supposed to hold it together isn't that great. So
maybe it's the Disney version, or the Dingo Pictures version of that Disney documentary where they throw all those lemmings off the cliff.
Oh God. Well,
that was a great.
I guess we should count that as a point for Dingo Pictures. At least when they spread misinformation, they don't torture animals in the process.
Yeah. It's weird.
It's weird to have to be like better than Disney.
I recognize this one. I recognize Hercules.
Yeah, the Hercules movie, which
this one's a popular one, right?
Yeah. Oh look, it's God from Look, it's literally
I
God.
love God.
God from Prince of Egypt.
I love this
I mean,
rendition.
Dingo's Prince of Egypt.
I love this rendition of God. He looks like a fat. He looks like a guy you see at like a bodega.
This looks like a costume they'd have Gibby wear in iCarly.
This is a pretty loose adaptation of the original like Heracles myth.
No,
I mean, I'm pretty sure they took like at least aspects of this from the Disney version, mainly the fact that Hades is like the bad guy.
I got a big question. Does it look like Vegas?
Why does it look like Vegas? I don't get it. Yeah, so
man.
I feel like what they did, they changed it enough to not really be like even close to being accurate to the original myth, but also they didn't change it in a way that makes it into like a more enjoyable movie experience for like a modern audience like Disney did. So, but then again, for a Dingo Pictures movie, this does have some action scenes. Like unlike the Camelot movie, they don't just skip over the cool shit. They actually do show Hercules fighting the lion. It looks really bad, but they do show it. That's something.
The attempt is there.
It's kind of funny.
Just imagine it's like a fucking like rotoscoped fight scene from like fucking, I don't know, John Wick.
I think Dingo Pictures is
Here's the
advanced enough to do.
Or like, oh, I mean,
the worst Hydra I've seen.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude.
it is a serpent with multiple heads.
The multiple snake heads that is in like the big one looks like frizzled hair. What the fuck is that?
Yeah,
That
these
looks like
designs
some
are
sort
also
of-
great.
That looks like
these bad
Mario.
guys are really great designs.
That
No, I love that one.
The one
So this is
back
when
to,
they
like the last one.
This is when they
That
go
last-
into like Tartarus. Like that is from the myth that he's supposed to. Hercules is supposed to like capture. What's his name? Cerberus.
Cerberus, yeah. The
And
dog.
like where in the myth it's like Hades is like, yeah, sure, you can fight him and then take him up with you. Just bring him back later. I'm Hades. I'm just a chill dude compared to every other god. But like,
I'm just admiring my fucking bug collection, dude.
I did kidnap a girl, but like at least I didn't turn into like multiple like animals just to, you know.
And there will be a billion webcomics based off about it, and each one will be worse than the
God.
last.
Yeah, and in this version, Hades is the bad guy. Where could I have gotten that idea from?
Yeah.
And like he's like, you guys should attack Mount Olympus. I don't know if these are supposed to be titans.
New soy
They
jack
don't really
drop.
look
Holy
like
shit.
titans. They just look like random. I mean, this is just like a Cyclops, and I guess this the other one was supposed to be a griffin.
Cyclops
But this
Jack.
guy, this is something.
I like this guy's
like
face. He looks
Minotaur,
like
but
I like
Centaur.
I like this guy's face. He looks like he just watched like a shock video or something.
And he was like,
Some-
he was a little disgruntled by it. It, like,
Great
it didn't have
original
him, like,
designs. That's supposed to be a griffin, I guess.
That looks like Mario fell into the fucking like RoboCop 2 gunk that melted that dude.
So I guess they're not the Titans. They're just random, like
Or like, wait, it's a fucking
creatures
macaw,
from
I think.
mythology. He kind
Yeah,
of looks
you
like
know,
he has a macaw head.
He looks like a boss fight in a Final
The
Fantasy
shit
game.
of the Dingo universe.
Yeah, he looks like a background Star Wars alien.
Of
Yeah.
course, like Zeus and his gang can fight these like random people from Hades off.
He's just like, no, I can't do it.
So they
can't
need
do
to
it,
get
yeah.
Hercules, and we get an epic fight scene at the end.
Honey, you mean Hercules?
Honey, you mean Hercules?
Who's that?
This is the epic fight scene, guys. This is gonna be so epic.
This is great. Holy shit.
At least it's not the fucking Dwayne Johnson Hercules movie.
Whoa, that's awesome.
Jonathan, I love it.
Spinning PNG again.
Hey.
Just a, Just a light tap. That's how strong he is.
Yeah.
This is from 1997. This is
It's
incredible.
a soy jack. I swear to God.
I'm pretty sure this is also like just the same scream from the Como death scene.
Julius, I was a little skeptical at first, but you're really getting me into this Dingo Pictures BS, man. This is great.
So and then he gets the girl also, and yeah, he gets to live on Mount Olympus.
Yeah, he gets.
He doesn't have to die beforehand. He doesn't have to get poisoned beforehand.
Yeah, he doesn't have to die. He gets the girl and spends the rest of his life with her, only doing Christian side hugs and like ball fondling.
Yeah,
that's the Greek dream right there.
Yeah, totally. Like...
So yeah, I guess the biggest weakness of this one is just Hercules is just kind of a dick.
Yeah.
Like he knows he's like unstoppable and he's like cocky, and there's like no point at which he gets like kind of shown up, and it's like it's not really fun to watch.
He just bogs over everyone.
That's how he kills the Hydra. He doesn't like cut its main head off and then like use his torch to like suture or shot or whatever. No, he just crushes its skull with his massive jawline.
But yeah, the action scenes. You go
in
first.
the spirit of a Hercules movie, which I saw the clips of, Hercules would give a Hydra depicting himself as a chat and the Hydra as a soy jack.
Yeah.
Oh God, the soy draw.
So yeah, I think this goes in. I mean, the action scenes are pretty funny. It's a pretty fun watch, even with Hercules being a dick. So I guess it's going in science tier. And I'd say let's go over Dalmatians. No, I don't think I'll put this over Dalmatians. I'd put it just under Dalmatians. Still, like, as far as Dingo Pictures movies go, this is pretty good. We already talked about this Easter Bunny movie, and this is the remake. Like, the original one was a picture book movie where it was just still images with narration, and this one is like fully animated, if you want to call it that. So I'll give another quick rundown of the story. So there's an Easter Bunny village. It's kind of secret, I guess, somehow, and a bunch of Easter eggs get stolen from this one family. At the beginning of the movie, we follow like the children. Not this guy, this is another guy. So
yeah, what's up?
I think Anya and Philip are their names, and they're like Philip. His like big joke is that he just eats everyone's shit, and he's just kind of annoying. I kind of hate him. He's like. There's like no I think they were being cute with him being like this, with this one joke being, oh, I eat the eggs that everyone's painted, but it's like, fuck you, you're being a dick. It's not funny, and he has like no redeeming qualities. And like we spend a bunch of time with these kids, but then they're not even really the main characters. Like they don't solve the main plot at the end, so it's kind of pointless to see them like doing games on Easter and cheating.
Did Illumination rip this movie off to make Hop?
Yeah, basically. I've heard the main character and that was also a dick, so a bunch of Easter eggs get stolen and they get this detective guy. And,
no way. Johnny Hawaii in Easterville.
There he is. You might recognize this outfit. It's the same outfit the reporter from Animal Soccer World is wearing. That's pretty interesting.
He dresses like he uses like it's the mid 2000s. Reddit is all the rage.
He looks like he's about to tell me not to come to school tomorrow.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like an internet reviewer.
Yeah, to me he looks like
he could have been on Channel Awesome.
He looks like Linkara's persona.
Yeah, I was gonna say he looks like he's about to run towards the screen.
Looks like he
this
looks like
carrot
really
sucks.
He looks like he really loves the green M&M, if you know what I mean.
So he gets on the case, and it's not really an interesting mystery, because basically what he does is he looks at the place where the eggs got stolen, and he finds like just a trail of feathers. He follows the trail of feathers, and then a fox shows up, and the fox is pretty stupid because Rabbit Detective goes, well, let me go, then I'll find the chicken, and then I'll return with the chicken, and then you'll have 2 things to eat. And the fox believes him. So, but they do have a pretty sick like theme for the fox, if I can find that. Doom, 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 doom.
This is better than Organization 13's theme.
Yes. Yeah.
This is like actually a sick reference to a like German like nursery rhyme song. So this is really meta humor, because that song is about there's a song about a fox stealing a goose.
I didn't know
this,
Dingo Pictures
like,
had meta
intense
humor.
Like action theme is suspense theme. I mean, is referencing that really cool.
Surprisingly layered and nuanced filmmaking.
Yeah. So he finds the chicken. So what do you guys think? Why did the chicken steal a bunch of Easter eggs?
I don't know.
Because he thought it was his children or something. I don't know.
Well, no, the chicken just thought, wouldn't it be nice if I hatched all these eggs, and instead of getting the children Easter eggs, we got them little chicks into their Easter nests. So she made a bunch of children so they could be given away.
Okay, first of all, that's not how eggs work. That's...
Yeah, I guess they were giving away raw fertilized eggs.
Does that mean that one rabbit was eating raw fertilized eggs?
I guess, yeah.
I mean,
yeah, Philip has a stomach of steel.
I mean, like, eating fertilized eggs is definitely a thing. Do you guys know what?
Oh yeah, it is. I saw there's an ordinary sausage episode. I think that got deleted, but I saw it when it was still up. It was horrifying. And he balloted its card.
Anyway.
So anyway, they just give a bunch of live chicks to the children. They're also colored because they came from colored eggs. And
yeah, that's.
I'm not gonna rant about this again. I'm not a fan of that message, because some children do get just little chicks on Easter, and it's no, don't do that. Don't do that if you can't actually sustain a bunch of chicken, if you don't actually have a birch or whatever you call it. And in addition to that, this movie is just boring as shit. The main characters are just these unlikable douchebags. Yeah, this goes here. This version is worse than the original version, because the original version was shorter, and we spent less time with Anna and Philip, which makes it the superior version by far. So speaking of misery and animal cruelty, the next one is Jen is the little pig.
Oh man!
Dingo Pictures version of Misery.
Dingo Pictures, the Watership Down.
I mean, I'm just gonna show you the most notable scene, probably. Wait for it.
Is that German for slaughterhouse?
Yes.
Wow.
This does feel like a fucking analog horror.
Hold up, the pig wasn't cropped enough. Oh my god!
Yeah, this
is damn, dude. Look at look at that pig over there. That pig, it's not in the frame correctly. Look at that.
Oh yeah, that happens constantly with Dingo Pictures movies. That's not even special to this movie. That just happens all the time.
My favorite part of the Three Little Pigs is when they head to the slaughterhouse and see the decapitated pig head.
And then there's this funny little rhyme there's this funny little rhyme in the background which kind of clashes with the tone of this climatic scene.
This really does remind me of the green text about the German bedtime story.
So yeah, the story here is that Janice is a little pig that doesn't play by the rules, and she lives on a farm that's kind of horrible. Like, I've talked about everyone being a dick in Dingo Pictures movies before. This one has it real bad. Like, literally, it starts with, they have a French cock, and he crows in French, and the fucking, dog is like, fuck you, you should crow in German. And then the cat is also everyone's just a dick to each other on this farm.
That's not like being a dick. That's borderline racist.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it basically is. And then the voice of this dog doesn't help. Listen to this voice.
I can barely understand what he's saying.
Because it's a foreign language.
It keeps drifting between Hitler and Richard Nixon.
Yeah, he really does kind of sound like a Hitler impression, which it's fitting that he's complaining that the French cock is crowing in French.
But then the bits where he goes where he growls, it sounds like Nixon going like Futurama. I imagine there's probably quite a bit of overlap.
This is very funny political humor this pig movie has.
Yeah. Never. I can't. The last time I saw a pig movie with such biting social satire was Animal Farm.
It's basically the German version of Animal Farm. So yeah, Janice, she's kind of a free spirit, but she grows up on this kind of oppressive farm. She's constantly told what to do and how to behave as a pig. And yeah, it's kind of miserable. Then at one point there's a pig on two legs in lederhosen showing up on the farm, and he says that he he was going to get slaughtered and he escaped his farm. And he's he's going to become a wild pig. He's going to become a boar. Which is not how that works, I think.
Not even
I think it'd be funnier if he says he's become a revolutionist and tear down the factories, and we'll get a real political satire going.
Tear down the Berlin Wall.
Yeah.
But for pigs.
I can't tell if those are tusks or a mustache.
I think that's a mustache, yeah.
Because this is, I don't think I've ever. This is this is the biggest German stereotype I've seen in a while.
So yeah, he warns Janice about the slaughterhouse. They aren't really sure if they should believe him, and then of course Janice gets picked up. And she goes to the slaughterhouse. She's supposed to be, a spit roast piglet.
Oh my!
As one does. But she escapes, but all these other guys, even though they're literally surrounded by severed pieces of other pigs, they're like, no, what do you mean we're gonna get slaughtered? We don't believe you. I know there's a severed head over there, but that doesn't mean anything. Because, they're told they're just gonna go to another farm and have, babies there. That's what, the story they're told.
Is there, some sort of weird, I'm getting the vibe that there's supposed to be some sort of undertone or political message to it, but I can't place what. I feel
think the political message is maybe go vegan. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Pretty...
Is this the same message as fucking there is no you don't.
It's the same message. It's the same message as Promised Neverland. Get
it's
out,
the same
run.
Message as Freebird.
Yeah,
we're gonna go back in time. 2. We're gonna go back in time to get pig off the menu. So yeah, all these big pigs will die, but Janice manages to escape, and she meets up with the guy from before again, who now is already turned into a boar, I guess. Now he actually got tusks.
It's just a fucking Studio TV film at this point.
Now he has tusks. Yeah,
he's returned to his roots.
Yeah.
All I'm waiting for is the fucking plane in the background to fly.
Come on, Janice. We're going to a place where we can be free. We're going to Chernobyl.
So yeah, she goes back to the farm to say bye to everyone, and then she fucks off into the wild, and she doesn't take her like siblings with them, which also exists. Where she's like, when the truck going to the slaughterhouse arrives, just run away. You know where to find me, even though they don't really know where to find me because you're just going into the wild. Like, how would they know where exactly to find you?
Man, German back at the barnyard is depressing.
Yeah, German
Watership Down is pretty on point.
It would have been less depressing if they had Mr. Bombastic.
Yeah, Biggie Cheese.
Biggie Cheese, yeah.
Wait, who's Mr. Bombastic?
Bombastic.
Yeah, it's a song. It's thinking of Biggie Cheese, the fat rat from the movie.
This is just a miserable experience. They don't, like the Toys movie, they don't address the systematic issue at hand. They don't get pig off the menu. It's just like, I guess if I can live a comfortable life, that's nice. I'm not even going
why
to
would pigs have an issue?
Convince my family to go with me. Just gonna say, yeah, something happens, just run away. But yeah, I don't know, this goes in the fire tier. I'd say it goes above Camelot, because compared to Camelot, this one's at least entertaining in how horrible it is. Okay, this is another nothing one. This is probably the least Dingo feeling Dingo film. It's another picture. It's another picture book film, and it doesn't really have a story at all. It's just there's this fucking little boy. It's Christmas. He gets some presents, and then he plays with his toy plane, and then he has a dream that's most of this him having a dream where he lands a plane in the jungle and then talks to the animals, and nothing really happens. So the only thing that's of note here is the name of the lion.
Ich bin Kimba, der König der Tiere.
Kimba. Yeah, he just said, I am Kimba, the king of the animals. So, what's
Kimba
funny about this?
Disney.
Dingo stole from Tezuka, I guess. Well, the funny thing about this is, as far as I know, the reason Kimba was named Kimba was they were gonna name him Simba, but then they couldn't have copyrighted the name because that's just a Swahili word, so they changed it to Kimba, which means isn't this literally infringement then? Because isn't that a copyrighted name then, Kimba? Isn't Dingo actually
by definition, yes.
Here? Yeah.
Kimba sounds a little suspicious.
Yeah. How did they even come up? I don't know. Did they come up with this? Because Kimba wasn't that. I don't think Kimba is that well known in Germany, so I don't know. Did they actually watch Kimba and take the name from there? Or is this just a coincidence?
They could have called him Limba.
Could have called him Limber.
If this is a coincidence that they named him Kimba, then it's a pretty funny coincidence. Especially in hindsight. But yeah, otherwise this is just whatever. I guess it goes in most of these are so stupid because it's kind of inoffensive, so maybe, I don't know, above, maybe kind of here. It's inoffensive, but it's so boring. On the other hand, it has no plot. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna put it. We got new stories from the Easter Bunny. We had the nicest story
There's
from
more?
the Easter Bunny. Yeah, this is the third Easter Bunny movie that they made.
This was colored in by Christian.
Yeah, this is another picture book movie. It also stars Anna and Philip, which were also in the other two ones, but here they kind of look different, and Philip here has boxing glove. The same names, but they don't really feel like the same characters. There's not really much continuity with the other movie, but basically they go to their aunt, who's I guess a famous egg painter. We see her eggs and they don't look that amazing.
Back when you could
actually.
make a living in the art.
But she's like a real bitch. She's like she's like a real asshole
She's
to
a
them.
lover. She's a child and a mother.
Like she yells at them a lot and is also very dismissive of their skills. She's like, you're not a big artist like me. You suck at painting eggs, you literal children.
You're not. This is not fucking art. This is art, and he fucking shows you her fucking DeviantArt page.
And it's like fucking AI generated eggs.
Yeah.
It's called egg art, and it's art.
Look how many of them I'm generating every day. I'm creating so many eggs. I'm such a creator of creations. So yeah, then there's a.
Like a
then there's like this robber showing up.
This guy is voiced by Matthew. This guy is voiced by Matthew Mercer in the English dub.
There is unfortunately no English dub. So he kidnaps Philip to.
I want those eggs.
He kidnaps Philip, and he's like, "Give me a He takes him for ransom. The ransom is supposed to be like the priceless eggs or whatever. So they have to come up with a plan to save Philip. And what they come up with is
Ist doch besser als selber malen.
they give him a mimic chest basically.
Öffnete die Truhe und Peng. Da landete ein Boxhandschuh.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Holy shit. They trapped him,
They
bro.
give him this like treasure chest, but when he wants to open it, there's a boxing glove inside that knocks him out cold. I guess it's a good thing that he opened it before like returning Philip or whatever. Yeah. It's like, yeah. It's kind of stupid. But if I can give this movie anything, I guess it has a plot. It has stakes that they have to come up with something that's more than like I can say for other Dingo Pictures movies. So
would you say this is like the best Easter one?
It probably is, yeah.
Because
then they have this
like
great. They have Alcatraz instead of Alcatraz. It's Alcatraz.
Oh man!
So you can play on the German word Hase, which means like bunny or hare. Which is just this random shack. Like this isn't even a real prison. It's just a shack in the woods. So yeah, what I don't like about this movie is the Yon character is just horrible. I don't want to go all Mr. Enter here, but it's like they went a bit too over the top, and it's like, you know, if you gave her like a real like comeuppance at the end, maybe, but they didn't really. So it's just it's just a bit too played up. It gets a bit uncomfortable. So anyway, but yeah, this is the best Easter Bunny movie just because like they actually have a story, and I'm gonna put it like between Nice Cats and Benni and his stupid friends. So the next one is this one is based off of the what it is called, the Nibelungenlied.
Do you know Siegfried the Dragon Slayer?
Yeah. Yeah, it's that monomyth. It's like a big saga. I think there's also multiple versions. But yeah, it's basically adapting that. It's like a greatest hits compilation. I don't know if it's entirely accurate because like it's complicated to look up. Because like I'm not reading the Nibelungenlied in its entirety, that's for sure, just to check how accurate this is. But yeah, one thing I've noticed is that Siegfried, he kinda seems like a dick in this also, and I think it doesn't help that in some of these shots he literally looks like he's insane. He kinda gives me Klaus Kinski in this picture.
He kinda looks like a fucking Altmer from Skyrim.
One thing I really hated about this one is this character, or what was his name again? Fuck, I forgot. Yeah, Gunther. I fucking hate Gunther. Look at his like stupid surprised face. He's such a wimp. Like I don't know. I'm not that type of guy, but I really want to give him a swirly. He just has.
I want to
that
give
face.
this guy a fucking gonna give him an atomic Melvin.
And you know, Gunther is into this like Icelandic like badass queen Grimhild. He wants to get with her, but she's like, I'm gonna marry the man who beats me in the fight, and everyone she's fought so far, she's just slaughtered them all. And like Gunther's like, Siegfried, can you do it for me? And then like they fucking trick her. So it's actually like Siegfried has like his little vanishing cape, and he uses that to secretly fight with her, but she thinks she's fighting Gunther, and yada yada yada. At one point she finds out and is rightfully pissed, and she hangs him at the wall. And it's like, good, yeah, he fucking deserves it. Look at his stupid fucking face. I fucking hate this
Dingo
guy.
Pictures and having like random small animals laughing at someone.
That reminds me of, like, even this one that's like, this is one of the ones that feels like less Dingo Pictures than others. Like same with the funny Christmas Kimba thing. But even this has
wall reminds me of that picture of the dude who like duct taped his baby to the wall.
Okay, even this has random animal shots. But yeah, and then they kill Siegfried, yay. I know, I guess this is alright as you want to educate your children about what these myths are about. I guess you can put this on just as a like quick summary thing, but it's not much more. I'm gonna put it in mid-tier here. Next we have Dalmatians 3. I mean, this is what was re-released as Dalmatians 3 on PS2. The thing is, like, first of all, a big part of it is flashbacks. Like, this really, it is like over 40 minutes, so this is one of the longer ones, but a big chunk of it is just them doing the first movie again. Like this scene where they're like canning dog food or something. That's like from the first movie, and like the whole, it's just a simple mathematics scene. That's all from, it's just flashback from the first movie.
So it's just the first movie again, but different somehow.
Well, that is a flashback sequence, but the actual story is we have the descendants of the Dalmatians from the first movie, which are literally just them. Like, these are just the same models reused again. They had in the first movie, they actually did show, like, the children, and they looked way different. Like, they were, like, hybrids between the brown dog and the Dalmatians. But I guess they didn't want to create more animations for these models and just reuse the original models again.
That's literally what fucking Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 is. Holy shit. Like, the first hour and a half is just like a clip show of the first one.
They have this prank war with this cat, and then they get the idea to get like a gingerbread heart for their owner's birthday or something. So they're like, we're going to go to the market in the city and we're gonna buy a gingerbread heart. But they don't actually have any money, and then they just get arrested for existing, I guess. I mean, they didn't actually take the gingerbread heart with them, they just took it off from where it sits. And that was interpreted as them stealing the gingerbread heart. It's like, immediately, cops arrest this puppy, this literal puppy. So instead of like the obese dog catcher, just the fucking police shows up. Just this cop shows up to arrest these puppies. And yes, the humans can just talk to the animals, which has some horrible implications. Because it's like, dogs can just talk to humans, but they're still treated as pets and they don't have rights. Like, you can just fucking arrest them. And also, if these puppies can talk, and you're like, they're like strays, and you want to return them to the owner, you like, shouldn't the animals just be able to say, look, can you like call our owner and like get us back there, instead of bringing us to a pound, which is what happens here. They're going to a pound, but like they have an owner, and like they can talk to the cop. So couldn't the cop call the owner? Like, you don't even need like a mark, you can just say, look, this is our owner. She lives like there and there. This is her name. Let's call her. But no, they're going to a pound, and it turns out in the pound is run by the bad guys from the first movie. The first movie ended with these like child slavers being caught and I guess brought to a pound, but somehow they were made head overseers of the pound. However that works. And then it turns out like the dog of the street dog gang from the first movie is just also at this pound. And while we're looking at the children of the characters from the first movie, these characters, like the whole like street dog gang, hasn't aged at all, which makes me wonder why they didn't just reuse the protagonists instead of saying these are their children, but they look like the original characters. Like, couldn't they have had the same story just with the same characters again? Also here's the Shaggy Dog cameo and of course Balto. But yeah, this is where we get the extended flashback, which starts about here and goes to about here. So as you can see, pretty significant portion of this movie is just a flashback. And then, you know, the two people, like the one dog who escaped and the cat, team up to save the people from the pound. You know, which I guess that works. I guess that is a story. And it also turns out like the Balto dog had a Austrian cousin for some reason. I think they say that the pound has a like bunker or something below it. I think it was a bunker, I'm not sure, but there's like a network of tunnels as they find out. So yeah, they get out through the tunnels and yeah, all's well that ends well. And it's like I'd say this is far worse than the original version because like it's so dragged out. I mean, it has its moment. It has an Austrian guy that's kind of funny. But I would say, like, for being so shameless in its padding, I'd even go as far to say this goes, like, just below the Easter Bunny one. I'm gonna say it. I think this one kind of misses the mark.
It's a controversial statement, like, we're gonna fight you on it.
Maybe someone is gonna... I mean, not you, but maybe someone is gonna show up in the comments and say, no wait, this is the one I found the funniest.
This is biased and rigged, and I've mailed a pipe bomb to your house.
Yeah. Next up is Perseus, and this is interesting because this is their first movie ever, and you'll notice that this one looks a bit different. Because like unlike the later ones where they had like these hand-drawn backgrounds with like the digital assets in front of them, this one is fully digital, so the backgrounds are also digital. As a result, it kind of looks like a DOS nightmare instead of what, you know, what Dingo Pictures usually looks like. This is basically a retelling of the deeds of you know, Perseus. And it does the job pretty well, I'd say. I think it's at least not wildly inaccurate. Yeah. And you know, it kind of looks... I think this kind of looks better in a way than the other ones, just because it still doesn't look good, but it's more consistent with this style. Yeah, but there's one scene I found really funny, and it's when Perseus' father like puts Perseus and his mother like in a basket and like leaves them on the sea or something. He just picks his daughter up like that and then puts them in a box like that. And then the way he and then the way he like put his arms behind his back, and I guess
I'm proud of this.
Perseus' mother doesn't even like try to get out at that point.
So casually about it, like he's going over his grocery list.
Okay, I got a hammer, nails, planks, my son.
We got milk, OJ, purple stuff.
Oh, ooh, Charlie Benjamin. All right.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, this is kind of episodic. You know, we got the classics. We got, of course, the Medusa right here. Then the evil grandpa dies by accident. These character designs are also great. Don't know what they were thinking here. You know, the character on the right kind of looks like... Doesn't this kind of looks like someone from Food Fight?
A little. He looks like the Squash from Plants vs. Zombies.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this is one of the better ones. This goes in science tier. I think it's pretty solid. Cool. I'd say I'd put it here. It doesn't have as many funny moments as Anastasia and Aladin. So I think it goes here. So next off we have Peter and the Wolf. It's kind of weird that I talked about the weird remix version, Benni and his friends, before Peter and the Wolf. Yeah, this is the original version. It's a retelling of Peter and the Wolf. The issue, of course, is you're retelling Peter and the Wolf without the music, which, you know, the music is kind of the whole point of it. So they kind of try to do a similar thing here. Like they use like their shitty like MIDI instruments.
I feel like
but you know, it's
someone's like shitty Doom fan song.
Yeah. So they try to emulate what the original does, but it doesn't work as well because it's just shitty MIDI instrumentals. So yeah, no, a pretty simple story here, just the story from Peter and the Wolf. There's a wolf showing up, the wolf eats the duck at one point. Just some good old war content, Dingo war content happening.
Yeah, imagine getting your war fetish activated by watching Dingo Pictures.
That would be kind of sad, actually.
That is why we decided to produce good quality war. We are not into it, but we want to introduce people to it in the nicest possible way.
Yeah. Yeah, this is, by the way, the theme for the wolf. It's just this action track whenever the wolf shows up.
Oh, that's a nice walking cycle.
Hell
yeah.
And you know, that was later reused in a lot of these movies. Like, for example, in the Dalmatians movie. But yeah, it's kind of jarring at points. Let's see if I can find that specific scene where they have like... It's like they play that every time the wolf shows up, even when it doesn't really fit. Yeah, also great audio editing here. Just the way the foreboding track just cut out immediately, and then it was the guitar riff.
Like, it sounded like the opening to Jackass.
Why even adapt Peter of the Wolf if you can't do it properly? I don't know, man. This is halfway competent at least, so I'm gonna put it over the Dalmatian sequel. And with that, we're at Pocahontas.
Oh yeah.
We have recorded that for DLDR recently, but that movie.
Congratulations, you just triggered a Vietnam. Congratulations, you just triggered a Vietnam flashback.
So a good thing about this is that it has Wabuu.
I am called Wabuu.
You don't like the Disney version. Why?
So first of all, there's this great character duo in this one scene that you need to see. But that's not actually the scene, but there's an Italian chef with a little Chinese guy next to him. I don't know what they were thinking with the Chinese guy.
Great cartoon duo right here.
He has dialogue in.
This is the Pizza Tower movie.
He even has dialogue in one scene.
You call that clean? No. Didn't I tell you that 100 times?
Hi, soldier. Bring me a cup
Also,
of
yeah,
fresh
just
milk.
this cat
Immediately, please.
talks
That
to the
cat.
soldier.
We're here
So
to
yeah, people can just talk with animals again.
One a day I'm gonna kill this cat and serve him to Mr. Crunchbone for lunch.
That would have served him right. The old tyrant.
I tell you, if Mr. Crunchbone bust us around like those above, he would not
This feels like a fan rep track, you know. This feels like something you find on Duke Brown.
Yeah, is it weird to say? I feel like the Italian had a more exaggerated accent.
No, I think you're right. I think the accent of the Chinese guys was worse in the German version, though. So yeah, you know, very loosely based on Pocahontas. I mean, the Disney version already had its issues in that regard, and let's say Dingo doesn't fare much better. This one is actually pretty confused what period it's even set in. Because it's like, you know, it should be like really early colonial times. And like apparently they still talk about sending the bad guy back to the king. So I guess this is still when this is supposed to be when the English are still in charge here. But then the bad guy, Mr. Crunchbone, like shouts out Queen Victoria here.
I want the deck as bright as the throne room of Queen Victoria.
So Victorian area, I guess, where the United States would already exist, so that doesn't really make sense. Then, you know, there's the scene of the guy shooting, and he has three arms. That's also a classic.
No need to talk Pocahontas. Shoot!
Also notice how she said 9 in German.
Yeah, she yelled out 9.
9, 9, 9, 9, 9.
Yeah, here we have three arms. So that's great. That's great.
We are still using the musket with only one arm.
It's
yeah.
Hang on. The way this shot is oriented is it gives the optical illusion that his gun is the nose.
Oh yeah, I mean the perspective is off anyway. Yeah, there's also a like romance subplot between Wabuu and Mr. Crunchbone's cat. And surprisingly, it's kind of better than the main romance, which is like...
I mean, it probably doesn't carry the same bag as the main romance does.
Yeah, that also. And like, you know...
For sure.
Aside from the historical context, it's also like it's Dingo Pictures, so obviously the romance is like, feels like rushed as hell. I mean, they're for Dingo Pictures, like, standards, they're almost trying. I'm actually not sure about this one. I mean, this has some like funny moments. And it's like, at least it has a plot. Like, it's weird that I have to say that as a like positive every time it happens, but you know, it's Dingo Pictures, so that's not always a given. I guess I have to put it somewhere in mid-tier as a compromise.
Yeah, that seems about fair. Yeah.
Actually, I'll put it below Arischa, but above Goldie because Goldie is boring. I have like no idea what I think about the Tarzan one. It's just kind of there. It's not really that bad for like Dingo Pictures. There's also not that much. It's not really memorable. It's just like, they do have like you know what you'd expect. They do have Tarzan growing up with the gorillas. That's where the gorillas come from that they reused in their fucking Dinosaur movie of all places. Oh, this one also has the duck. I forgot that it had the duck. Except in this case it's like reddish, pinkish for some reason. Had a bad sunburn, I guess. So yeah, then this was also reused in like Atlantis as the grandpa there. You know, the poacher is also there and fucks shit up.
Is his name?
And with the elephant dying, the elephant that barely had any presence before that, so that death doesn't hit that hard, but you know.
That's fascinating.
So yeah, great Tarzan scream here, there, and then, you know. Actually, Oh my god, it's a shame that Adam isn't here, because I'm pretty sure that's just Jane. I think Jane is fucking Atlantis' mom. I think that's the same model. So yeah, I'm sorry, Adam, that you're not here right now. I'm sure you would have wanted to see Atlantis' mom in this outfit.
Yeah, right now Adam is watching over his kid, and he's like, "Oh, my sixth sense is tingling. Somebody is talking about Atlantis, mom."
I guess we'll have to send him the screenshot at the end of this. This movie, I guess this has to go on mid-tier. Although, I mean, this is one of the ones, since it's like kind of an adaptation, it has more stories than the football game of the animals. I think if I'd had to choose, I choose the Mouse Police over this, because the Mouse Police is a bit shorter. So I think this is where I'm gonna put it. It's like overall, I don't know. I forget like all the scenes like after watching it every time, so I guess it just has to go in mid-tier. So anyway, now we got toys. I've already talked about the original version, yeah, so this is the toys room basically. And like we have riffed this one on Do Not Like, Do Not Read. One of the most notable things, of course, is the design of the Game Boy character. I mean, all of these designs are kind of, I don't know. Can you imagine playing with this abomination? I don't know, I'm not gonna talk about the plot again. Talked about the original version. This one, not a lot has changed with this one. Like I said, one scene from the original was cut out in this one. It doesn't really matter, it doesn't really change that much. I mean, I have the same criticisms for this version that I had for the original. They're almost the same. I mean, the most notable change is that they set it on the birthday instead of Christmas. And they called it Toys, probably to cash in on Toy Story, because the original version actually came out before Toy Story, so yeah. I'm gonna put it just above the original because it looks better.
Like, my name is the fucking Wabuu, oh yeah, my name is the fucking Wabuu, oh yeah.
Well, to talk about more pleasant things, maybe. Here's Wabuu, the Wabuu movie.
You know, it's like Wabuu's first movie.
Yeah, Wabuu's first movie. I don't know. I think Wabuu probably debuted in Pocahontas because like Miko, or what like the raccoon in the Disney film was called. But yeah, he got his own movie because he was just so great. And before we talk about the movie, I have to show you there was a French dub. A French alternative. There's a normal French dub and there's a French alternative dub that was like done by an entirely different company, and it's like weirdly good and professional, and they made like a new Wabuu song, and it's pretty great. Like, doesn't this sound way too professional for a Dingo Pictures movie?
For sure.
Like, this almost sounds like it's from a real movie.
Yeah, this is like the bar talk of Dingo Pictures. I'm gonna be humming this later. I'm gonna get really pissed off.
Sacré Wabuu. Ah, oui. Pretty great. I mean, Wabuu's of course he is the Dingo Pictures character. Yeah, the like mascot, the everything.
He's their fucking Pikachu.
You know, he's so great, I even made a stupid fucking song about him. I made my own mimic parody with Wabuu. And it's pretty bad. But yeah, basically the story of the Wabuu movie is Wabuu is like a prankster. He's just trying to piss you or anyone off.
But he makes a killer meatloaf.
Yeah, he does make a killer meatloaf. He does like make a killer cake at the end. But he pranks the animals, and then one day something goes so wrong. Weirdly enough, like you'd imagine the story would be that one day one of his pranks goes too far, a joke that goes too far.
Yeah, I was just about to make a joke that his brain has gone too far and never ended up in a coma for 20 years.
I was gonna say he was going to make his brother kiss Fredbear.
No, it's not even like that. It's not even a prank. He actually tries to help Wusha the squirrel, because Wusha is like the nuts are on the other side of the stream and it takes too long to go around, and Waboo's like, I'm gonna build you a bridge, and he steals an axe and chops down a tree, and by accident it falls on Wusha, because I guess he didn't go while soon enough. Also, there were like eggs in the tree, and the birds call him child murderer. So that's also a classic moment in this movie.
Wabuu picked up the egg.
And actually, that's the I didn't even realize that's the.
God, I hate. He
stand
looks
up
like
again.
Fucking his goddamn blue eyes makes him look like fucking Gojo from JJK.
Oh god, yes.
The design looks so weird with his eyes because his face masks, because it's white, to me it always looks like it's part of the eyes. Yeah. It just it's a bad design, but that also makes it iconic in a way. The tree falls on Wusha and Wusha passes out, and it makes the wop 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 sound. That's also a classic moment.
And the overwhelming sensation knocked him clean unconscious.
Let's watch that scene again, but in German this time. You can't watch Wusha passing out enough times.
Wushu wurde vor Schmerzen ohnmächtig.
Wop 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 wow.
It does like the fucking SpongeBob boo womp sound.
Whoa. Wabuu, what are you doing again? So yeah, anyway, the mole finds him eventually, and Wabuu apologizes. So it seems like he learned his lesson. I can sort of see the story here, it kind of works. But then they kind of destroy it at the end, because like he apologizes to everyone, but then he ends up pranking them again. Because he puts sneezing powder in the cake, and yeah, that's literally how the movie ends. With him being a bitch to everyone again. So yeah, it is a story. It sorta works almost. They kinda mess it up at the end. Like it doesn't seem like he really learns his lesson. But it is Wabuu, and it's
Wabuu is
kind of
chill.
alright. I think realistically I have to put it below Balto, but still in party time tier. So, yeah, I think it's like at least halfway enjoyable, and it has Wabuu in it. So yeah, this was in English. This was known as Countryside Bears.
Oh,
I guess.
Is this like the Berenstain Bears?
I mean, Phalis in his video said that it was trying to cash in on the Country Bears, which I guess was a Disney movie that bombed or something. I have never heard about that before.
That in and of itself sounds like another Mandela effect to that movie's whole existence.
Yeah, but I think that's just the thing of the English, it's only the English title, and the German title with Winky the Bear. They're clearly trying to cash on Winnie the Pooh somehow. And they even have what's her English name? I only know the German name of the kangaroo from Winnie Pooh. Was it Roo and Kanga or something? So yeah, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this is kind of going out with a whimper here. I mean, this is episodic. It's we have this group of bears. Most of them don't really do anything except have one joke that they do sometimes. There's a guy named Yodel, and sometimes he yodel, but most of the time he doesn't do fucking anything. But this is they got the Austrian guy that was also in the Dalmatians thing again. Also I think this is supposed to be a guy. For some reason I'm never really sure if this is supposed to be a guy or a tomboy bear. finding daggers and other items on the ground. The first real thing that happens is they go outside with like umbrellas when it's windy, and I haven't even mentioned this. This is called Winky the little bear, but the main character, like the main little bear, isn't even called Winky. It's called Teddy. So I don't even know why they named it Winky. Or like if you're gonna name it Winky, which is probably to make it sound closer to Winnie Pooh, at least name your main character Winky and not Teddy. Like, what? Yeah, they get blown away. They end up in a tree. They have to get them down. They get like a blanket, and like Teddy just falls through the blanket onto his back. But it's relatively fine anyway, so I guess they weren't even that far up that it was actually dangerous. So then what was the next episode? I think it's they just find a hole in the ground. That's basically this episode. It turns out the hole is just where this rabbit lives, and the stupid grumpy bear falls in it, and like he like hurts his ankle. So since then the next episode is the grumpy bear hurt his ankle and he can't go to the like flower fields to collect honey. So obviously what they do is they just pick the flowers without the roots, so they're just gonna die, and they put them in front of Grumpy Bear's house, and I guess the bees then come to him. Even though wouldn't they would still fly back to their hive, so that doesn't even really make that much sense. The bees are just absolutely cursed also.
What the fuck?
They just...
Why are they fur colored?
And they make the honey by just eating the pollen with their disgusting mouths. Yeah, great. And then Wabuu shows up. That's right, Wabuu is here again, and then the last quarter of this movie is just like a big chunk of the Wabuu movie as a flashback.
That's
like
so
literally 20 minutes is just the reused Wabuu movie in this
that
stupid
is the
movie.
most Dingo Pictures way they
It's
could've
like
did it.
I think of all the like padding that Dingo has done. This is probably the worst example. Like just in terms of the length here. This movie, which already was boring and barely anything happened, let's just put a chunk of our other movie in there to pad out the runtime. Then it ends after we watched a chunk of the Wabuu movie and everyone laughs. And then the guy yodels. And everyone laughs. Not everyone, but
What
most
a
people.
fart.
This is definitely throw it in a great big fire.
What a fart to end on.
I think this even goes under the Easter Bunny movie. I guess it goes over Atlantis because at least it has Wabuu in it. His name is the fucking Wabuu, oh yeah. So yeah, there we go. That's the Dingo Pictures tier list. We got Aladdin coming out on top, and Atlantis at the rock bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, and now Julius can work on regaining his sanity.
Yeah.
Now I can work on watching everything that Mondo TV ever put out and then make a tier list on that.
And in 50 years we will be sitting here, okay, we're doing the tier list of everything Warner Brothers ever put out.
Yeah, Warner Brothers is just Dingo Pictures with a budget if you think about it. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this, and
This is fun.
go watch Donut Like Donut Read, I guess, and also
isn't
original
this going
content
up on
self-inflicted.
Yeah, so if you it's, then it's Mocha, I guess.
Yeah, sure, that works.
You'll probably,
Bye.
I don't know.
Bye.